go so you can listen in, obviously, to hear what we've got going on.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate it. You're welcome. No, not yet. But I'm sure it's gonna happen. Yes, yes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
My life has been upside down.
Whilst
It's gonna be my next,
call in the meetings to order for the two pre-election community development districts. First item, we'll do form the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on this agenda will be performing the roll call. And I'll start myself for transcription purposes and move to my right, Jason Gruber, GMS. Daniel Perry, CDD. What are CDD? Alrighty. It will be just the three board members present who are not able to make it, just reading them out. Moving on to staff with GMS.
Fallon Martin, GMS.
Dream along GMS.
Alrighty, and then also we have, I believe we have the Rural Landscaping present, members of LMP, Juniper, Prince and Sons, Red Tree, Sunrise Landscaping, I see Yellowstone. Anyone would get outdoor? Okay. So that's two more people. We don't have representatives from Russell or Getz. I do have a member on the line. Jet, you're not with Getz Landscaping, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
I'm not a resident. Please forgive me if I'm not supposed to be here.
Hey, you're welcome to join the fun with us this evening. I just wanted to make sure if you were with one of the landscape firms or not. Next item on the agenda is audience comments related to agenda items. Do we have any audience comments related to agenda items? We've got the one or two audience members. Alrighty. And on the Zoom, please raise your hand if you have any audience comments related to the agenda items. Not seeing any. Next item that we have is the approval of the June 17th meeting. That's part of your agenda packet. Didn't get any changes before the meeting. Is there any? Do we want a motion to approve? Alright, Glenn Roberts, and then that was a second by and Eric. All in favour? Alright, motion passes. Next item, we're going to go into the consideration of landscape proposals. We have a number of landscape proposals that are here this evening. Bennett District Council, if you wanted to just go over some of the rules and
Sure, yeah.
the format of this meeting.
Be sure, just simple ground rules.
with some vendors in attendance here. So in a couple seconds, the board's going to give each firm a chance to present to the board. So each firm's going to have exactly 7.5 minutes to present their submission. So this is formal RFP. The process is tightly regulated under Florida law. So in this process, the board must compare like to like and base their decision on the four corners of each proposal. So as such, each of you must present your proposal and your proposal only. You cannot reduce your price or otherwise supplement or change your proposal in any way that would materially affect the outcome of this process. So what we're going to do here is I mentioned, we give each opportunity, or each firm in attendance the opportunity to present for up to 7.5 minutes. After all of the presentations have concluded, the board will take some time to discuss among themselves. And what I would suggest the board does is comes to a consensus scoring for each one of the categories, for each one of the firms, and we'll all add them up and adopt the final rankings as a group before announcing to all the vendors in attendance the winner. Have I answered any questions about this at this time? If you guys have any, otherwise we can just get right to it.
Alrighty, just with that, we have lost two other proposals, two other companies. Do we want to raise the 7.5 minutes and make it 10 minutes to proposal? Instead, kind of gives us, 10 minutes to everyone, because I just want to make sure the board have enough time, and I think that's time well spent. Yeah. Okay, so we'll raise that time to 10 minutes per vendor. I think that's the fairest way to do it. I have you all listed, items A through H, you see in the agenda packages. Typically, the vendors don't need to leave the room. I know we've all gone through these RFPs before, but it's, if you want to stay, I can't ask you to leave. That's kind of business courtesy. It's typically that vendors exit the room, and then obviously, you guys to. We're going to start with the call because they are item A on the agenda. I think we just go in this order. What way do you go that way?
If the agenda set that way, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, we have, we're good with, yes, okay, so we'll start with the ball. And then I'll come out and read you guys, whoever comes next. Next will be the Prince, Red Tree, Sunrise, Yellowstone. It's in alphabetical order on the agenda. So, all right, so I'm going to set the clock at 10 minutes. It's going to have a beep, and then the board members. Yeah, I think that would be better, because then if there's anything from Bennett, we can just go from there. So, all right, gents.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for this opportunity. My name is Tommy Valera. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Duval Landscape Maintenance here in the Tampa area. This is Vince Gigliotta. He's our Business Development Manager directly in the Tampa area. Vince and I both spend a lot of time out here in this community and digging everything out, looking at the data out of that. As far as CDD is currently concerned, we do manage several. We have one up in Jacksonville, and then we have two other down here in the Parish, Ruskin area. A little walk with one of them. We actually just signed them, I think it was 2 weeks ago. We've had Sweetwater up there in Jacksonville for about 5 years. Have a lot of experience dealing within the CDD contracts. They're still so different than HOA maintenance contracts. The scope of work that you guys provide is very specific as far as detail cycles, whether it be 17 or the mows, the Bermuda field, the sand, the aeration, just everything that's kind of been included throughout this process. We've been incorporated for about 20 years now. Our headquarters office is based in Jacksonville, Florida. We have about 400 employees company-wide. We have 8 branches throughout Florida. Vince and I will be directly involved if we were the selected vendor here. There's so many things that we come across and annotate while we're going through the community, checking through all your beds, turf, irrigation things. So we really allot a solid amount of time to create a game plan, we pass that to our ops team, and then as we start performing service, one of the biggest problems you guys are going to encounter is a learning curve initially. You guys did set a budget up, we did, shoot past that a little bit, but that was just after, again, a really solid assessment from our team. Based on the overall quantity of turf that you guys have, the fertilization that's gonna be needed for that, the irrigation time that's gonna be needed to run those inspections, we need to allot the amount of time to put our name on a contract like this, CDDs, you have to succeed. So we allotted the resources that are going to be there. Second, communication. So communication throughout this process is also very critical. Whether it's us giving you guys your monthly irrigation inspection the same week every month, and then being able to create a closed loop with that. We want to take anything we find on that proposal, ensure we get that to you guys, inside of our presentation, or our inspection. We provide pictures with our irrigation inspection reports that help identify and locate these areas. Whether you need an additional description there, whether we're tracking duplicate repairs, whether you need us to create an irrigation map that's gonna find our zones and make sure you guys aren't paying for our mistake. More on top of that, as far as communication goes back to, you'll get a weekly report from our account manager. That weekly report will tell you what's going on with agronomy for that month. If we're having fertilization application going down, it will give you guys a heads up time, so that way you guys can pass that along to the community. Detailed schedule, you guys have it 17 times. We have X number that gets done per visit, and X number of accumulated that gets done each month. So we will give you those cycles and that schedule that we will be detailing to, so that way you guys can understand and see where we're working to, and then your management company can also track that work as well. Moving down further, work orders, anything that comes in, we've obviously set that up with the CAN, any issues that were one-offs, irrigation emergencies you guys need someone out here for, we will be able to come out immediately for you guys. Our location is probably about 15 miles from Dupree Lakes. It's a 30-minute drive for you guys to get out from here. We do have other properties all throughout the Tampa Bay area, and several of those are listed within our references. Vince did spend a lot of time out here on the ground, and I want to give him a moment to kind of speak about some of the stuff that he saw when he was out here and some of the things that we proposed for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. And Tommy, you know, he touched on a lot of things that I wanted to touch on already. With being out here on the ground, obviously our main concern is the regression of the turf. We want to stop that. It seems that the Bermuda, the sports field is kind of something that you guys want to get back to a place that maybe it was in the past. And we see that, and we want to give that the attention that it needs. It seems like you guys have a lot of kids in the area, maybe within the communities, and we want to focus on getting that back to, you know, not so much of an eyesore as it has been.
Well, it's the fertilization, the sand, the
Correct.
irrigation.
And I'm not sure if that has been something that they had skipped on the aeration and the sand, but we priced that into.
If you go back several years inside of the Bermuda grass, you see the regression. We have the ability to go back and Google Earth and obviously see conditions of things and then track the regression back, right? So the correct grinding schedule, watering, and then topsoil or sand being filled in, and that being done on an annual basis is gonna stop the regression from coming back. You guys do have active chinch club out there, you know, with the in your turf. We propose Arena, which is a very strong insecticide. It's recommended from the University of Florida. We're gonna do 2 blanket applications for you guys throughout the year. This protects us, right? So all the stuff we're looking at now, the whole blades, the areas of turf that are eating away, we stop that. We do not account for time to send additional managers to check every square inch or chinch club throughout the property. We believe in our processes, and there's certain processes that are set up that make us successful in all our communities. Arena is one of them. It is a proactive chemical. It will incorporate itself into the root system of the turf and the plants there, and then when chinch clubs do come, because they will come, whether it's from another community, from wind, from weather, we're here to attack it. It stops on inception, but again, the goal is to stop the regression. We want to set processes up to stop us from walking backwards and start walking the property forward. Ensuring the communication to irrigation, the agronomy, and the maintenance is all on point will stop the regression.
Yeah, and we feel that we put a good plan in place. We've allocated enough hours for everything, for the detail trim, for the unirrigated ponds, for the parks, everything. We've really put the numbers together where it makes sense. We will be able to control the weeds, we'll be able to keep everything detail trimmed and get this place looking, you know.
Yeah, all the agronomy is based off of square foot, so we take all the measurements from turf. We know you guys have Bermuda, the hay, and St. Augustine. We have 3 allotments for each type of turf, and then we generate our formulations from there. We'll take soil samples, which will give you guys a unique formulation within your chemical treatments. We'll check the pH level. I mean, you guys are probably running a little basic. and that means it affects the uptake of the nutrients into your plants, into your turf. It's critical that we go ahead and monitor that pH, whether it's just a sulfur-coated fertilizer that we're gonna put down there to attack that. Again, that's at no additional charge to the community when we do that. That's just gonna be solely based off of our soil samples. So we really try to implement fact, process, and data as much as we can. There's a lot of human, obviously, side to this, where we have employees, but making sure the manager's out here, and making sure we're efficient, working properly, not doing things we're not supposed to, not taking breaks when we're not supposed to, not parking trucks in areas that haven't been designated, just an overall managing quality of service and try to elevate, and we understand that communication is a strong factor. That is our 10 minutes, we're kind of close to, that is our presentation.
Yeah, and then it was 10 minutes with questions and all sort of that, so we want to go straight into it.
Yeah.
So for, just, I list the same questions for everybody. Some of it I'm gonna get tagged in.
Yeah.
Crew size was 5, 2 days weekly.
Just to mow, yes, sir.
And then 3 detail crew, and then 24 hours of labor for irrigation per month, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of the questions that I didn't see in the, and I may have missed it, was certain field experience, but I know you just really get on that. So, yes. Licenses, so everything's in-house, yes?
Everything. We have a separate tree division as well, should we, hurricane cleanup. This year, we put 100 employees, out in the street in a matter of 2 weeks, and we knocked out about $2 million in things there, so that we can just clean up.
Okay. And these, from the packet, the closest location was Largo, but you said you have another location.
Yeah, we have another one in Libya as well. So, yes, sir.
Both of them are much further.
As the crow flies, miles.
You said you had 9 locations in the park?
Yes, sir. 8 locations.
That was my questions. One I didn't go in from that or whatever. You know?
I think I'm good.
Okay. I'm good.
Again, we really.
We need to reconvene and
Thank you for the time.
they were great as well, so.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll get the next one, so.
I'll get it. Who is it?
Yeah, I believe it's,
I got it. Minutes game.
Yes. And then, just to set expectations, board members, I just want to make sure, we're going to be making a decision, so, because all we're just want you guys, Vince and Tom, right? Do I have your contact information, I think? I want one of the.
Yeah, well, you got your
Yeah, what I want to do, are we going to allow vendors to leave
I mean, if they want.
if they want, but I don't mind sticking around.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to let them hang out.
Set
and we'll
the expectation that we will be making a decision tonight. It's a case that, we want vendors to leave, because we're going to have deliberation at the end between the 3 board members that we might.
It's gonna be an hour just for the presentation.
Right, but if there are questions that come back, well, no, Bennett. Yeah. For instance, if the vendor did leave, and there was further questions for the board, we can ask those questions within the parameters of the RFP. Is that right?
So, I mean, we have to make a decision tonight on this.
Right. The question is more, if a vendor left and there was a question, say Janelle had for a vendor that's no longer here, but they've given us
Can we
our.
call them up and
Yes,
ask them a question to be sure?
yes.
Sure.
They're welcome to say, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
the deliberation.
You don't want to leave before you really know.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as,
I'll get you going. Yeah, we can talk to them back.
For our RFP process, we're just trying to make sure that the process is equitable across the board. So as long as every other firm understands they have the opportunity to do that, they can get the contact information with us, and they're welcome to any questions, I'm okay.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. So, Scott's been to the second knows the rules pretty well. But I'm just going to start the 10 minutes.
Well, where would you like for us to see? Where's the
Before I start this, what the question was is if are we making a decision tonight? The answer is yes. But in the event that a vendor wanted to leave, could we give them a call rather than you, look, you've got three staff members here, you've worked a full day already. Maybe you only want to leave Scott here to hang out, I don't know, you know. Like, you know, so I'm just like saying, you know. But,
I'm taking blame for the team.
yeah, that's, yeah, but, I'm just gonna start the clock so you guys can see it, it's 10 minutes. We did presentations, you wanna get to your questions, however you guys wanna take that 10 minutes, up to you, okay?
All right, first of all, let me introduce our team here tonight. We have Bonnie Marshall. Bonnie is our CRM, so she's our business developer, she's our customer relations manager. With me also, I have Anthony Vega, who is our account manager that would be assigned to this job, and myself, I am Scott Carlson. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Landscape Maintenance Professionals. On the Juniper bigger picture, I'm a regional director for under the Juniper umbrella. Right now, I run all the day-to-day operations for LNP. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Bonnie.
Thank you. So Juniper is a Florida-based company. All of our ownership lives here in Florida. I interact with them on a daily basis if I need to. I have their phone numbers. So we're rooted in Florida. We have over 20 branches in the state. 4 of them are between here and Tampa, South Tampa. So we have the lowest, or the southernmost branch is in Waimama. We're a full-service design, build, maintain firm. So we have landscape architects, irrigation contractors. We're a full landscape contractor licensed with the state. And then something really important also for you to consider tonight is that we have the resources for storm cleanup. And the reason that that's important is you need to have a plan in advance. And not only that, but we have the biggest install division, or biggest install operation in the state. So that means when you have storm cleanup that needs to be done, we're not out trying to rent equipment. We've got guys that can't do installs, so they're going to take care of running that equipment that they run every day, but clean up your site as quickly as possible. So that's important for you.
And with that storm cleanup, sometimes what we do, because we've got equipment all over the state, if we know that a storm is imminent, we may bring some equipment and stage it on locally. That way we can get out here as soon as we get the all clear. So that is a benefit to what we provide. So LNP, talking about the LNP side, we were established in 1991 by a single owner named Orlando Castillo. He's still involved with the business. And we were acquired by Juniper in July of 2024. It's been a great transition. As she said, Vine talks about how they're a large install company. Primarily, that's their bread and butter. They do well in maintenance as well, but we're a maintenance company that happens to dabble in some construction. Things for us, things to consider. Obviously, look, we've done a full assessment of the site. You know, the things that we see, the first thing that jumps out at me is conservation areas that need to be cut back. Okay, and as well as trees. There are many trees on this boulevard that have not been lifted to the 12 feet that's in the scope. With LNP and Juniper, if we are the low bid, there's a problem. We don't want to be the low bid. We will give you a fair price, a valid price, and we're not going to bait and switch you whatsoever. You have to ask yourself where the path is in terms of pricing. You also have to ask yourself, if your current vendor threw their hands up, how can somebody else do it for cheaper? You're going to hear a lot of other people are going to tell you that they do it. The current company that you have, I got a little story about a property in which we took over from them. This is one of my biggest success stories that I love to tell. Heritage Isles, which is a local property, we took it over in 2009. Prior to that, they had 7 contractors in 6 years. I spent the first 2 years going to every board meeting, kind of getting kicked around. And I haven't been to a board meeting now in 8-9 years, right? But they have renewed us now for a 4th time. Some of the CDDs that we do in the area that you may be familiar with, in addition to Heritage Isles, Starkey Ranch, Estancia, Watergrass, Heritage Isles, Epperson Ranch, Chapel Crossings, Quarry Lakes, Middle Point 2, Northwood, and Oakstead. And outside of that too, it's not a CDD, but it acts like a CDD. It's Hunter's Green. We do all the common area in Hunter's Green, which is, it's an HOA, but same scope of work basically. between both of our companies, we do 95% of our work in-house. Stuff that we would subcontract would be annuals, mulch. Those are, it just depends on our workload. So those would be the two things that we would potentially subcontract. We do have our own Arbor Care division that is based in Lutz in our office on 54. I don't know if anybody knows where the airport is. On 54, that's where we're at. So we're very close. And as you can see by our representative CDDs, we are in the area all the time. Anthony would be your account manager. You'd be assigned to Anthony. He would be your full-time account manager. The way we are structured with our crews, you have crew members, then you have a crew foreman, and then you have a production manager over top of them, and then you have an account manager. Your account manager is your front-facing person that's going to deal with you, right? He's going to be directing the crews, the production staff. He's going to be doing all that. Let's see here. Another one we just picked up, aquatics. I don't know if that is of interest, but we do have an aquatics division now. Let's see, we talked about the stuff that's on your property, conservation encroachments, trees are very low, turf fertility is lacking, plant fertility is lacking. What can you expect from us? You know, you can expect us to be honest, very communicative, proactive. Everybody's going to tell you the same thing. We all buy the same fuel. We're all using the same equipment. We all use basically the same people. It's the supervisors, and it's the communication of those supervisors that really, really separates us. We are very fortunate in that our account managers do not turn over often. Once they come to us, they stay with us. And we have many success stories of people who start out as laborers. Started out as a laborer, went to a laborer, went to a crew foreman, went to a production manager, been an account manager for the last 3 years. And he wants them all. He wants the type of property. Ask for them all the time. He can't ask for anything more than that. But you would have a dedicated crew. You're not going to have one crew show up this week, a different crew show up next week. You won't have any of that. That's it. I mean, pricing wise, I do have one question for you in your budget. Your mulch, $8,000. What is being mulched on the property for $8,000? Because it's certainly not in the
The last part of the RFP, but you would see that there's 175 yards of mulch. That was, it was $80 a bag. I know per yard, that's what that was. I think you guys can do it less than 80. I think you guys are like 65, 70, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we're 65.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't adequate enough really to, but, you know, hey, you can stretch it, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see, I think, what questions do you have of us?
I have a question regarding, you said communication. How often are you providing reporting back, and what does the reporting look like? Does it include pictures, things like that?
So we currently have our own in-house inspections process. We call it an MQI, which is a monthly quality inspection, where the account manager will go and score the property. Crews are evaluated on the scores of those properties. However, we have some customers that want weekly reports. We have some that want monthly. We have some that, if we're on site multiple days, they want to kind of know what's going on for the whole week. So it's really just up to you. One of the other things I will point out with communication is it is a requirement of our account managers to attend CDD. We're an extension of you. Nobody can tell our story but us. You're going to be asked some questions, and there's nothing worse than let me get back to you, especially if you have an upset resident, right? And we also feel that, listen, we can move this thing further along in partnership with you. And we have to do that by being here, right? Being present. Some other people, we do not like our business to be transactional. We're in a relationship business. We are. Plain and simple. Any other questions?
So the kind of same question I ran through the last, crew size for mowing crews out the detail, we days on site.
Yeah, so we will be on site. Our crew size will be 5 people, 3 days, and that's a combination between mowing and detail. In addition to that, we'll have 3 supervisors, 3 days a week, that will be on site as well. In addition to that, Furt and Pest, I did notice that I had, let me get to Furt and Pest. Furt and Pest, there will be 1 technical person, a minimum of 3 days a month. And I did notice one error that I made in the submission, which irrigation. I know that we need to be out here weekly, so I put that there would be 2 technicians 3 days out of the month. That's inaccurate, obviously. We're gonna be out here doing 1/4 of the irrigation on a monthly basis. We're out here every week doing that, so that is a mistake that I made on the submission.
Saw their turf and field experience and their, licenses I already have, got them multiple angles. Yeah, that's all I had.
Do you want me to, if there's other questions, then we do like 1 or 2 minutes just to finish questions. You good?
Thank you very much.
Okay. So just, as you heard, Scott, the expectation is we'll be making a decision tonight, there will be deliberation after the 6 proposals. So up to you guys, if you want to stay, got your contact, if I can get a contact number, if you do leave, but it's up to you guys, totally up to you. And I'm telling that to everyone, so.
I do have one question. Since we've already presented, is there any reason why we can't stay here?
No, but it's up to you. We did note that everyone should. Typically, people leave, but if you want to stay, I can't tell you not to leave stuff, you know what I mean? So you can absolutely do that.
If everybody's gonna do that, that's what we're gonna do. I just asked the question because I always like to hear what other companies are gonna say.
Yeah, the Devon left, and then I'll say that the question was asked, and at the end of the day, Scott, if one of you was sort of staying, I would reach out and say, hey, I would call you and say like, hey, some vendors, if you want me to do that, I can absolutely say like, hey, someone's stepped in, and obviously it's a courtesy.
You can call me at any point.
Excellent. Okay.
You got my contact.
Excellent.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here and we hope to be a partner of yours for many years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, bud.
I got it.
The next company that we have, Prince and Sons. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, so with the last groups that we just said, before we made the decision, so it's after the presentations, everyone's got 10 minutes, go through the presentations. If you want to get to your questions quickly, absolutely do that. But they will be making a decision if you wanted to stay to find out. One bidder asked if they could sit in the rest of the room, but I think everyone else is probably going to step out, so they left that up to them. But ultimately, I've got all of your contacts. If there were questions, I could always call you guys. I know that, but I don't know if you guys are going to stick around. It's entirely up to you. I think that I don't know how long this board's going to have their deliberation for afterwards. So, but I just wanted to make that fair. But I'll start with 10 minutes, so you guys can just see where we're at. Introduce yourselves, would be great.
First of all, my name is Ian Prince. I'm the president and owner of Prince & Sons. So on behalf of my company, I'd really like to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity, for one, not only bidding on this property, but also two, for allowing us to maintain the property for the last few weeks. I know it's probably been a lot of stressful on you guys' side. So, you know, it's really nice that GMS not only trusts us to bring us in, but so once again, thank you guys for that. I'm very blessed to have a great staff. I don't have a sales team. My sales team are the men and women y'all seen out here in the last handful of Fridays. Those are the people that really sell for us. They make our properties look good, and those are our pretty sales team in the world. But we do have Lucas. Lucas is the vice president of landscape maintenance, so he oversees all the business side of the maintenance department. So anything contracts or the bidding process, and even after we did say we were awarded this project, we would still deal with Lucas on any kind of business questions we have. Then we have James Smith. He is our operations manager. He oversees all of our properties, higher level. He oversees all the account managers, report to him. The irrigation service techs report to him. Our board manager doesn't necessarily report to him, they work really closely on our properties together. Then we have Harold. Harold is our Tampa branch manager, which is property that we serve out of our Tampa location. So Harold would definitely be overseeing this property. I am definitely the younger guy in our group, but these guys have a lot of experience when it comes to Center Street, and so do I. You know, I grew up, this was my college education, holding a weed eater and working in the field. That's why I'm able to get where I'm at today. But I'm very happy, very well staffed, you know, group of men and women. Our office staff is really well and do a really great job. GMS has worked with us now for a really long time, and they're a really good customer of ours. Normally in the meeting, I think, because of the work the way we perform. I know we're probably on the higher side of things whenever it comes to pricing, but at the end of the day, fortunately for us, and unfortunately for those guys out there, we know what this job takes to do it. We know how many hours it's going to take us to do it. This is a big property. We feel that it was definitely under bid from the previous companies we had before. And we're not here to be a practice. We have a really good practice of cutting grass. We have to do it. We want to be able to put our name on it and say, hey, we maintain this property. And we like, on our reference letter, we like to say, hey, we've been there for X amount of years. When I'm interviewing someone and it says, hey, you've only been there for moving jobs, it doesn't look really good if someone hiring you. Well, it doesn't look good if they don't have a property for a period of time. The reason I bring it up is it hasn't worked out well for you guys and well for us. And so that is why we're trying. We're trying to be able to do this job the right way. You know, yes, we're not a big hedge fund and we're not just turning numbers here. We have to be profitable, but we have to make sure our name looks good at the end of the day. Other than that, I'll turn it over to Lucas. He knows more about the nuts and bolts of the project, so we can kind of go over that and answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Some of the unique things about our company is, we have all kinds. I do have a degree in horticulture. James and Harold have been doing this for forever. James is very structured, very organized, Marine Corps, and that's why, I mean, if we have your property set up for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, guess what? We're gonna be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's what training. We're gonna be the same part for that property every single day. You can count on it. It's gonna be scheduled, it's going to be organized. You will get your irrigation inspections every month. You know when we're gonna be spraying, you know, fertilization, pest control. You know, we communicate you to that. Our branch manager, Harold, he will not find somebody that has a bigger sense of urgency than that guy. You call him on Sunday, he won't be able to sleep until he's fixed your sprinkler head. You know, it's little things like that. We are that perfect size for you guys. We didn't handle a big property like this. That's what we do. But so we have pushing 300 guys with our company. So we have that we're still family owned. We care. You know, we're all local. You know, we all live in the area between Lakeland and here. So we're all local. So as far as we do have dedicated departments, we don't outsource anything. Your mulch is going to get done in-house. Your trees are going to get done in-house. Everything's in-house. I'll let James talk about a little bit how he runs the irrigation and the maintenance side real quick.
Just like Ian and Lucas said, we appreciate you guys giving us a chance very much. I have 19 years experience in the green industry, and I was in the military 22 years. Very blessed to have this man. He's been doing it like 35 years, 36 years. He's made a huge difference to me, took a lot of me. But, like I said, very organized. Every month you will get all the reports that you want, plus some more. Communication, my guys all know. If you reach out to them, they're expected to get back to you that day. It's in the afternoon, later, maybe the next morning. Communication is a big deal, and we will communicate like their quality, top notch. We've been out here a few weeks. Like I said about Harold, if you've seen, you may have seen him out in the backpack, walking the boulevard, spraying and killing weeds. He's a branch manager, but he's a worker. He's out there making sure stuff's getting done. So,
Yeah.
you got anything you want to say? He don't say, he just works.
We really want to use your property as a reference. We do towns like Thomas right on the corner here, and we do Angeline, we do Murad, we have several properties right in this area, so you're always going to have service in the area. We have crews there for 3 straight days. Right now, we're just doing it pounding on one day, but we find it's better to have those guys on here multiple days. we miss something, we break something, mistakes happen, we want to be here for multiple days. I know we're not talking about numbers at all, I know but I will say that, we are willing to talk about the scope a little bit. We can value engineer some things to save you guys some money that you will not even notice as far as quality. We know what we've done, we know what we can do as property and manpower wise, but guys, we have not, I know you think it looks better now, but we aren't, your property's not there. We need to raise your trees, we need to address, your soft edging a lot more. We got a lot of things we want to do to your property to make it a wild property of this area.
To be honest with you, it's kind of embarrassing, crap. I should say a lot, but kind of embarrassing that we're doing puppy right now, I'm like, what's going on, these heads down. Yeah, like Ian, we're just doing they're trying to help them out, so I promise you, if we were to take this property over, it would look a lot different. I don't even know who was doing it before, but, there's a lot of things that we can definitely do to the property to make it look better.
You see a turnaround real quick.
I think the biggest thing is, what I've seen in the last month is the irrigation. It is a train wreck. There's wires, there's 2 wires laying on the ground that's been cut, no telling how long. Valves are running, the roundabouts, the timers don't work, they're falling off, but just some of that. And we got a very good irrigation, department.
Yes, we do. He's a branch manager, he's got more irrigation experience than anybody that works here. He's all over it. You have me, I'm gonna manage it. We have 11 really good techs, and they are watching, and we control everything they do. And he'll be out here watching too, guarantee it. Quality will be the best you ever had.
Ian's he's been in the install side for a long time. So we have the guys that install the 2-wire systems. They know how to do it. They know how to service them. They know what makes them last. Proper grounding, proper wiring, not having, obviously, sun exposed to the Florida sun, things like that. And we're always, our fertilization team, I cannot wait till we're out of your blackout period if you were to choose us, so we can put a good heavy granular fertilizer out there and make that. My degree was in turf grass management, so I really want to get your turf popping again. And then you get some bright green turf and some bright annuals, you know what? People are going to be, wow, look at this stuff. Yeah.
He said annuals.
Another thing too that we have is hurricanes. Unfortunately, we're very acceptable hurricanes on Florida native, and so I went through a lot of hurricanes. We have a lot of hurricane cleanup equipment, large rear and gravel trucks. The first thing that takes priority is our properties that we service year round. We're not going around and trying to chase this quick money. We service the people who take care of us year round. And obviously, if we were on this property, that would be you guys. So if we did have a storm, our guys would be dispatched, and girls, we do have a lot of females that work for us in the field. So those men and women would be dispatched in the field and clean this property up where it is safe for the homeowners and everyone else to get around as quickly as possible.
I got several women for me, and they're tough. The guys are like, "Ooh," they want.
Your eye for details better.
Don't forget, communication is key. I said, guarantee it. They're on me all the time. I got 2 of them.
We
Calling me
opened
24/7.
the last week, we opened it up for another couple of minutes for them, so we get into some questions.
And you said you had 300 guys across the entire company?
Guys and girls, yes, sir.
Okay, and they're all Central Florida, or is it North Florida, South Florida?
No, so we have 3 locations. King City is my main office, and I have the Tampa office, which Harold oversees, and I have a Orlando office. So yes, those 3 locations.
So primarily just Central Florida?
It's just Central Florida, yes, sir. And right now, we don't have we're not trying to go anywhere else. That's the honest truth. And I'm not looking to sell. Biggest thing is, these big hedge funds, the Yellowstones of the world, these guys trying to buy people out. I'm young, I've got young kids, I don't need to sell. So that's a lot of concern we see sometimes in property ownership.
As far as crew size and days per week, I know right now, people sort of, you're just 1 day a week, small crew, just get it by. So how does that change as far as that, what's the crew size look like in that day a week?
We've got three full days, 5 guys. And we tried, the continuity is so important. Heroes be ready about keeping the same crew leader here so they get to know the property like the back of their hand. So right now, we're just throwing 12 guys at it and knocking it out in 1 day. And, but now we want to have those 3 days, basically, so, and we do 10-hour days. We don't work Fridays, just in case we have a rain out. Oh, we work Fridays. Our crews don't work Fridays. Because that way we keep your Friday for a month days in case we have a rain event. We don't want to get on your weekends, that's what we do.
Detail crew size?
Our crews do both.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do mold detail. I'm not
Okay.
careful.
We're not.
Keep the same crew out there, they no problem.
Yeah. And we're very sticklers for everybody being licensed for everything they do. You know, very professional. Trucks clean, he's very particular about that.
You won't see
That's
nothing
what
back, but
Hey, for experience?
What's that? Yeah, I have a guy that we do, that would be the only thing I would probably help, core verification. We do Bonnet Springs Park in Lakeland, it's gotten named the #1 public park in the country. They have giant, the Great Lawn over there, but you can see that. Actually, that's in the brochure there, you can take a look at the landscape thing, you see the stripe and everything. Oh, yeah, right there, that's it, Bonnet Springs Park. So we had a giant Bermuda grass field there, we turned that thing around, we pulled core verification, we did a pet fertilization, we verticapped both ways. And then we top dressed the heck out of it. We drug it in. We had a nice heavy rain after that, and you can't even tell we did it. It's really amazing. Yeah, that's kind of my passion.
The last question I really have is based on irrigation. I think obviously you got to see this track record you quite mentioned. I don't remember the proposal, and I don't have it in the notes, how often you have folks here working on fixing.
Every month.
Yeah.
you get inspection every month and report every month, but once we turn in that first report and proposals, you see everything that needs to be done. Of course, we don't know how bad it is or how good it is. First thing we do is turn in all the proposals so you can see how bad it is. The more you fix for a while, the more you're gonna find. That's just the way pressure works. You know?
The key is not just check every month. The key is to have experts here as your crew, which is Harold, which is your account manager and your job, because they have to notice that our weather is crazy. We just came off of 4 straight days with 100 degrees, and we just got 6 inches, 10 inches of rain, right? So we gotta be able to adjust, and we gotta be able to react in the field. And that's why having that good management, it's not just a check, it's having that adjustment period.
Usually every week I'm here, or, I'm running through it. If I see it, I'm running through it, I'm checking.
You know what works better than a rain sensor to save you money? Turn that damn thing off. You don't have to worry about your rain sensor at that point. Yeah.
I don't have any questions, but I hope I'm allowed to say this, but I've received a number of comments back from the community that they have noticed the difference in the landscaping that's being done now. And I know you all just kind of have thrown a crew at us and have kept us plugging along, but for the community to already be noticing, I think is a really great thing.
You'll see a big difference if we get in there.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. There was a lot. I mean, I appreciate your responsibility. There's a lot more for doing.
No, I agree. I mean, one of the, like, I personally, our house backs up to conservation area. We had a dead tree behind us and a huge branch fell. The old landscaping company would have, and we've had someone come mow around it. And I was actually watching when they were out, and he passed by the first time when he came back and moved it back into the conservation area and actually mowed it. So, I mean, even just little things like that that have been a pain on our sides,
Yeah, it's
that
like-
our crews have done a great job.
We'll pass that on.
We don't have a lot of turnover even in our field staff, the ones that hold weed eaters around the mower. Things that I do and the things that these guys help me do is like put those practices in place. The reason I mention that to you is because once we find these good qualified workers, just run the homeowner, you might think that's a simple job, but it's really not, but it's really easy just to go around it. But we make sure that we take care of those employees, whether it's paying 75% of their health care, or doing a food program for them, when they get free foods, or buying presents for their kids. Whatever, I think the little things we can do to hold on to those good qualified workers, because things like that come out of it, and it helps us in return.
And managers don't leave there. Now, there's a couple of them didn't have a choice, but he's really good to us, takes good care of us. We got a really top-notch equipment all the time. And he just lets us run it and rarely gets involved unless something crazy is going on.
There was just one question on Lucas, you mentioned cost savings. I know the board are going to deliberate and ask those questions. If, like, I don't know if you wanted to hear that, like whether the cost saving would be like, you just want to give you that.
Yeah,
So you mentioned it. I know that they're going to ask me, and I'm going to have to ask you guys.
Well, okay, so the 4232, as far as we call like the 42 to St. Augustine, that needs to stay. You need that 42, but it's high-end community, we want to make sure it looks good. The unirrigated pond banks on that, you can cut that back some. So that every time you skip like a service on it, there's a lot of pond banks. So if you skip the service, we have to plan that out, so we can't just say, hey, let's skip this week because we've got a crew. But, it takes a full day to just mow that irrigated hair. And there's not much to mow. 32 times we can come off that. Every time you come, so if we were to go 32 cuts even to 26 or so, you're gonna be talking, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
If you're going to summer, the way it's set up now, you're going from like June to end of September, weekly on the pond. If you went to every other week, you had 19 on ponds, it's a huge deal. Now, understand, 2 weeks, and it's raining, it's gonna pond, when it's all over. You guys deal with homeowners, you know what it's gonna look like. So that's something y'all have to decide.
Yeah.
But that is a huge cost.
Yeah, but sometimes like, when it get close out, December, January, February, sometimes once a month. And that's an area that you can really save some money. Your shrubs, the 4 times on them, that's, until you replace some of them, that's probably excessive. We can probably save some on that, but your shrub, we can treat those, or we're gonna treat them, but, some of their age. So we can probably back off some of that until you guys choose to have a replacement plan, and, then we have to add back in some money for a newer plan. But there's a lot of things like that we can do. And we are, but in our extra services, I know you probably saw that, we're a little cheaper on our extra services. If you're a dedicated client, we treat that as not a chance to gouge you, we treat that as a chance to give you better pricing and better service. So our phone price is cheaper, our annual price is cheaper, our multi-price is cheaper, if we do it all in the house, we save you guys money in the long run.
So, just to ask one last question.
You guys are in control of that, I can't tell them to, I can say they went over their 10 minutes, if that's your.
Okay, so with that, so it's not a flat rate contract, if there's less trash or less mows or whatever, then that just gets cut off on the bill?
No, we want to do the 12 equal payments, that's during the way, but we would pull that amount, if we decided to go to 24 cuts instead of 32, we take those 8 cuts, we subtract that amount, we divide that by 12, that would get rid of that amount, and just give you a cheaper price.
Okay.
We like to try to do that up front when we start the contract. Believe it or not, we kind of know our schedule for the whole year. So we kind of try to do that, we let them do that up front. That way you guys understand, and you don't just leave it in the hands of us, like, oh, they're gonna take that out, or they really just want to think they're not paying attention. We want to make sure you guys know we're being honest and where we stand on that.
Yeah, we're not somebody with BSU, building stuff we didn't do, but that's just not gonna happen.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so just what will be,
I'm gonna stay around.
yeah, okay. And then, if there's any other questions I've got. Yeah, I know you'll be here.
I'll be here.
Excellent.
Wish all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
While we're waiting on the next group, is the soccer team out there, or they, banning, or they?
Yes. Is Dream going out getting them?
Where would you like me?
Right there,
Yeah.
right here, because this is being taped so that they can.
Hello,
get the
everybody.
recording.
All right. How is everybody this evening?
Yeah.
Great.
So before we start, just wanted to say, everyone's going to get 10 minutes, and then if the board should go over the 10 minutes, then that's up to them. I can't tell them to stop. But at the end, the board will be making a decision this evening. I do have your contact information if you were to leave, and if they had questions, I could call you. But if you want to stay, absolutely.
I'm going to stay.
Okay, excellent. All right.
Appreciate it. My name is David Lucadano, and I'm one of the co-owners of Red Tree Landscape Systems. The other owner is my brother Peter, and he wasn't able to be with us tonight, but Together, we're 100% owners of the company. We have no other partners or investors. So we're a family-owned and operated business in Tampa Bay. And together we have 90 years combined experience in commercial landscaping, irrigation, arboriculture, and horticulture. CDDs are what we do. CDDs and HOAs are what we specialize in. We currently have about 12 CDDs that we maintain in the Tampa Bay area. Several of them are within very close proximity to your property. We take care of the preserve at Wilderness Lakes. We're going on our 8th year with that. We take care of Long Lake Ranch. I believe Jason manages that property now.
Yeah, GMS took over that last Tuesday. We were selected as the new management company over there.
They're right over here on 41, great looking property. We also take care of Devonwood, not too far from you. No, Deerbrook, I'm sorry, not Devonwood, Deerbrook. And we were actually the installation contractor for the developer, and we maintain that CDD. We also maintain what we believe is the largest CDD in Tampa Bay, and that's West Chase. And we're going on 2 years with them right now. And according to them, in 25 years, they claim that we're the first landscape contractor that can mow their entire property in 1 day. So even though it's not necessary to mow it in 1 day, we look at a CDD as a collection of work. There's a lot of different services that have to be provided, and mowing is just one of them. But we like to have a finished mowing done and out of the way. We kind of call it our air attack, and we like to mow your property in 1 day. We're equipped to do it. In our personnel plan, we've identified 14 people to come and mow the property in 1 day. And what that would allow us to do is get your mowing done. It would also include your edging, nice curb edging, nice proper bed edging. And then those other days, we'd still be on your property probably 5 days a week. But the other days of the week would be reserved for other services, such as pruning, weed removal. Those would be our detail crews. We've dedicated 12 people to do detail work on your property another 2 days per week. And then the other day or two per week would be either our irrigation crew doing inspection and repairs, and then also a weekly visit from our horticulture crews, which would inspect turf plant health issues and pest and disease issues. So we're still proposing a 4 to 5 day a week program, but separating all your services so that they don't conflict with each other. I was personally involved with your bid. I've got about 17 hours personally invested in your property so far, not including other support staff that have helped me with the proposal. But I think I really have a good understanding of boundaries. The map that was provided was excellent, and I really looked over things good. You need a lot of help. I probably don't have to tell you that. You need a lot of help, and it's more than just signing a contract with us and we go mow grass. I mean, we need a recovery program here out of your property. And, you know, we're prepared to invest the extra time needed, waiving any kind of cleanup fee, to kind of restore your property and work with what you have. I realize some things are going to take capital improvements. Before we even get there, I think there's a lot of things we can do that are covered under the scope of your specifications that would really benefit your property just by doing proper practices, being consistent, doing things the right way. You know, there's no edging being done on the property. There's a lot of Roundup spraying, but it's all over the place. We have chemical leached. There's no defined bed edges. There's dead plant material all over the place. There's dead trees. I'm not sure if the tennis court is within the CDD confines. There's a dead maple there. That's a big liability. There's a dead maple tree, and the branches are starting to fall off. So during our weekly inspection, those are the things we're looking for. We want to be proactive. Our first order of business, making sure we comply with all the specifications in your agreement. And then our second order of business is to really be your consultant
and communicate with you heavily and say, these are areas that we can help improve the property. Here's our solution, here's the cost to do so. But again, we can prioritize those things. We can work on a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, or a 5-year plan to help restore your community. It's an older community, there's a lot of plant loss, and over time, our landscape architect could probably help with a restoration program. But within our first probably 90 days on the property, we would try and just get dead things removed, dead plants removed, cut dead growth out of plants, do in-contract tree elevations. You have trees and sidewalks, low-hanging limbs. We would start with the basics, the low fruit, so to speak, and do all of those type of things. There's no color on the property in terms of turf. It's anemic. So, and I personally think it's being mowed too low. Believe it or not, we like more of a 4.75 inch cut on St. Augustine. You're at about 4 right now. So a little higher cut, build a deeper root system, then we start getting that turf healthy. You have a lot of weed infestation in your turf. A lot of it is wild Bermuda, which is going to be a little harder to eradicate, but over time we can help with a turf repair program for those areas. But I think we can get a lot of your turf to recover. It looks like you have irrigation issues. When I came in tonight, there was a zone on that maybe didn't look like it should be on, and if it was supposed to be on, there were pressure issues and there were breaks. That was the front entrance island and the right side. There's heads bent, leaking, so that would be a big thing. We would do probably first 30 days in, do an irrigation assessment for you, and kind of give you a pre-existing condition report of what we found and how we can improve it, and start off with the easy stuff. Why don't you have good pressure? Do you have good coverage? Let's get fertilizer down on your turf. We use all granular products. We don't use liquid stuff. We use all slow release fertilizer and insecticides. We communicate a lot. We're not a big corporate company. We don't have middle management. We try and put our resources onto your property and not in an office. My brother and I are very hands-on. You would have an account manager, but we would be very involved with your property. If you wanted us to attend your board meetings, we'd be happy to. We currently have a little over 150 employees. We're prepared to dedicate about 26 people per week to your property. And our turnover rate in our past 10 years is less than 4%. So that's not really an issue for us, labor. And we have people that have been with us for 20 to 30 years in our whole career. So we have a lot of families that work for us. So, I know it looks like you're working through a transition here. I know we can help you with it. It's a tough time of year right now because of the growth. But I think if we started with the real basic stuff, getting the weeds out of beds, even though they're dead, you can still see them. So we would mechanically remove those weeds. We're just not going to look at dead weeds. So that's kind of a little bit about Red Tree. We're based here in Pasco County. We own our own 20-acre facility in Holiday, Florida. We have our own green waste facility. We recycle all our debris from our clients' properties. And you'll always know we're on your property. We have really nice fleet trucks, red trucks, very visible. And again, we're really big on communication. You'll receive a weekly report from us, and then more of a comprehensive monthly report that we would bring to your board meetings. And again, if you wanted a representative from Red Tree, we would always be there. But most likely be my brother or myself. So that's a little bit about us. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them for you. I know it's too late to do this, but it's really never too late. That everyone here is invited to tour our facility if you'd be interested in doing that.
Do you subcontract with your work?
So we don't. So that's just that's the 10 minutes, but last contractors have been allowed extra minutes. So I'll just start the clock at 2, and if the board members want to continue questions, please do.
So I love that question because we're proud that we don't. And we take it a step further. You know, my brother and I used to hire people that had industry licenses, and that's a good thing. We still do. But what we realized is we didn't want our license to be in the hands of someone that we couldn't control. So my brother and I possess all of our own licenses. We have pretty much every possible license you could think of that's applicable to our industry. Certified pest control operator, certified arborist, Florida certified landscape contractor, and state licensed irrigation contractor. Peter and I have all those licenses. We have our own in-house tree crews, climbers, aerial buckets, irrigation techs. We do all our own landscape construction, no subcontractors.
Storm cleanup, I know that's been mentioned a couple of.
Storm cleanup's a big deal for us. We have a 24-hour response, or actually a 24-hour service, but response within 24 hours of a storm. What does that really translate? We're usually here within about 2 hours. That was our average response time. We're checking your property, we're assessing it, we're photo documenting it. We're making sure your roads and sidewalks are clear. So we're gonna cut and stack. And then final cleanup would be another phase. I think in our proposal, we did provide a hurricane storm plan, but we have a really good one.
I thought I saw it, but after reading 8 different ones.
Exactly.
6 different times.
But no, we have a really good one, and we really just beefed it up with those last 2 hurricanes that we had. But we sent about 15 different people out to assess all of our properties, and we converted all our grounds maintenance crews into cleanup crews. So we had some pretty quick action out there. We were way ahead of our property managers, assessing and helping our clients. And you're not far from us, and you're near 5 of our other properties.
So that was another turf cleanup, or turf experience.
Tons of turf experience, and we're gonna do soil samples because we wanna we need a starting place for you. And we have all the equipment for sports turf, aerators, all those other things that turf needs. So not an issue. We know it's a lot different than your right-of-way turf. And Peter and I are both certified pest control operators and certified commercial fertilizer applicators.
Okay. Questions? No questions?
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate the opportunity. We don't get this a lot when we come to a CDD meeting, so it's really refreshing.
Thank you for your time.
Excellent. So, maybe while the plan is, if you want, you said you're going to stay.
I'm gonna say,
Okay.
you guys need me at all?
Yeah.
That's my cell phone on the card.
Excellent.
You're welcome to call me.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Good luck with your decision, okay?
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I wrote down playground ratings over Google ratings and then just sort of forgot.
Yeah, I'm just.
I just translated this one here to the
Good, how are you?
Good. I could be the AC now.
Great, how are
Hey
you?
guys, how you doing? So what it is, it's 10 minutes and it's usually a presentation and then there's supposed to be questions in that 10 minutes, but we've been running over a little bit after the presentation, but I'll have a stop clock here so you guys can also see it. But the board will be making a decision tonight, and so you're welcome to stick around, but I've also got cards of other companies just to see if we, if we're going to have deliberation, right? So they might want to give you a call if you guys want to leave. I know you guys can work today as well.
Okay.
But I'll just,
I'll give you the card to make sure it's the case, but.
yeah, unless you guys want to stay.
Yeah, that'll be fine, okay.
Okay, so I'll just, write this.
Well, appreciate you guys taking the time, to let us come here and speak with you all about it. And as for FedEx for being summarized, obviously, this is Neil Santiago, he's our operations manager.
Yeah,
Great, yeah. So, we completely understand, we're coming from a perspective that's, understanding that this is a big line item for your guys' budget. Landscape maintenance always is for any district. Great Lakes is no different. So, again, us coming in here, being able to present to you guys, we appreciate you taking it serious, as we are as well. So really, I feel like the best thing for me to do is to take a look at what you are actually going to be seeing from this line item in the budget. And to start, take a look at your operations plan. What work is going to be done out here? How are we going to approach this property? First of all, taking a look, our goal would be to raise this standard from its current state right now. We've got plans to do that. Neil here, our operations manager, already got his eyes on it to take it to another level. So that's our goal to start. To do that, we've got, the way we've estimated this, we've got a full crew out here 4 to 5 days a week. So that's a 5-man crew, again, 4 to 5 days a week, and a full day hours is 8 to 10 hours. So that's 40 hours, crew hours dedicated to this property, so full-time crew out here. That's going to include mow crew, detailers, irrigation techs, LM techs. That's coming out to around 200 labor hours. So that's our approach. It's a big property. That's, again, how we estimated it, looking at what it needs, and kind of going backwards from there. So what's around that, this operation? We've got a chain of command, we've got a structure around that that's going to be kind of, again, your chain of communication. We'll have an account manager that's going to be set up that will be your main point of contact for the property. All communication will go through him or her. They're going to be able to attend these board meetings, cell phone, email, and of course, communication is going to funnel through them. Under that account manager is operations manager, and that's again Neil here. Neil's job is to take this scope of work and implement it. Scheduling, making this scope of work actually come to life on property, make sure that things are happening in the right time of the year, in the appropriate cadence. We'll also have a production manager. That person's in charge of quality control, so they're going to be out on property every week. They're not going to be actually conducting the work, but they're going to be putting eyes on the property, and they're going to understand Neil's plan and understand, hey, this area of the community should have been hit this week. How does it look? Why does it look this way? Or it looks great. So quality control is his main goal. We also have an on-site crew lead. So this production manager, again, is going to be every week, but they're not going to be doing the work. This crew lead will be on-site with the crew, different colored vests, so you guys can point them out. They're going to be, again, in charge of quality control of the work actually being done every time we're out here. So we put this kind of, and I'm going off this page here, this structure in place so that it fosters proactive communication. It puts a lot of eyes consistently on property that, again, helps us communicate effectively to you guys. So going a little bit backwards now, I'm looking at this page here. This is kind of how we're going to be communicating with you all. So that whole structure kind of funnels up through this. Your account manager is going to be giving you guys monthly landscape quality audits. What's going to be in this report is what's been done out on property, any issues that we've identified, our approach to those issues. It's going to be supplemented with pictures and things. So if there's a hedgerow that's dead, we're going to take that out at no cost. That's a little difference from Sunrise. If there's dead plant material and it's okay with the board, we're completely fine taking that material out, putting it in our LQA, and giving suggestions on what should go there next. So that's the sort of thing that's going to be in this landscape quality audit. We also get monthly irrigation reports. Our first month out here, it's going to be an in-depth report. We're going to map out your entire system. You have an understanding of where the zones are, any issues that we've identified. We normally separate between critical and non-critical. And any seasonal changes going forward will be in that irrigation report. At the beginning of the contract as well, we'll do initial water and soil tests. That's going to take place at different parts on your property. Those results we share with you as well. That gives us chemical makeup of your grounds, so we can tailor our program to your grounds.
a good line that I've heard, and it makes a lot of sense, is this plant material that we're seeing is just a symptom of that soil and water quality. So we definitely want to understand what's going on underground there, so that we can, make this property beautiful and create our approach. So again, my focus, our proposal is obviously much longer, I think you've all had a chance to review it. My focus again is this large line item in your budget, what are you guys going to seek from us? And how are we going to hit that goal of kind of taking this property up a couple of levels, where we can hit people homes. But yeah, so, thank you guys again for the opportunity. I do think that we are the right partner for this job. We partner with many CDDs, and, we're growing. We've got plans to put a branch in the Zephyr Hills area, which will kind of put this property in the middle. Right now, this property is coming from our Tampa branch, which is only about 30 minutes away, right? So, not a far drive from us.
Do you subcontract?
Nothing that's in the scope of work. Now, some of the additionals, like these palm trees, some of these Washingtonians and things that are above 15, 20 feet, we work with a couple subcontractors to complete that.
How about other items like mulch, general, like bed debris that's larger than the normal range that you see?
Other than the palms, everything's going to be happening in-house. So this page here, actually, all of our teams are in-house. We're all Sunrise employees, maintenance, L&O, horticulture, so any chemical pest, irrigation. We also have an install division they can install this entire community. Once you're a maintenance customer of ours, you have access to those capabilities. So, smaller projects, that's no problem at all. We consider them enhancements. But if there's ever a very large project, you have access to that division. All in-house, Sunrise employees.
I may have missed the presentation, but local, communities that you manage here in Pasco County.
Seven Springs is Pasco County. Trying to think Pasco specifically. In my proposal, I've got Hawkstone, which is out in Lithia, Hawkstone CDD, Encore at Fish Hawk, Canning Park, all similar size communities to this, similar scope.
So not a lot of Pasco presence.
Yeah, we do, Pasco at the college.
PhDC, yes. Yep.
Yes, we do that, we do, super crossings, like units, like townhouse units. So, that's when I feel Pasco, so, it's in Tampa side, we have few Pasco. So we know about station water and we plan, devices, we have, some chemical using, proposing before get the heat and sound like, moisture, chemical, we call adequate, water. So that's, basically when you start, the drainage, system start just one time, a week, that prevent, like, you losing down, losing water, losing the trails, again, because you really take the root of moisture all the time. So we do that too.
Okay. Turf experience?
Yes.
I'd ask everybody, so.
Again, one of the things you mentioned, that's coming from me, operations is like, a lot of companies, that's what I hear because I'm here for 50 years. See, you have any debt on mature design, they want to charge you for that. I want to make it, sign, window service, I remove it, I take pictures, I document, I put the location, I communicate to you boards. But every time you have the decision for make improvement or approve proposal, for now we can do all the material, break it out, with mulch, for the presentation, we can do like the move the material on some trails, probably do, small tree, flush cut for the moment, I can do that too. Leaning tree, just in case I have in the weeds, I can stay with that too. We just working the proposal like improvement, big things. What improvement need, like a saw, something like that.
And And that's kind of, our goal to take this property to another level. It's coming from Neil's expertise in operations where it's not going to take a ton of proposals to bring this to the next level. A lot of what we see is TLC, attention to detail, some of these things where others may be not, that's kind of still within our realm of needs.
For the, do you do reporting and how often and?
Yep, so that's part of the LQA, the monthly audits that we're gonna provide you guys will get that full document. I always, and I missed it, I apologize, whatever cadence that you guys would like to set with your account manager, that's standard protocol for us. So what I'm talking about is business as usual, any additional cadences that you guys would like to see, monthly walkthroughs, weekly touch points, that's part of the conversation.
Yeah, basically, in CDD, we normally account managers do weekly updates to the email, like, this is what we're doing, actually, I mentioned to me, we just reported, like, safety rate in the community, no matter what is part of the landscape, like, you have a car accident here, my guys take a picture, location, dates, everything, we get that.
Especially beyond site.
Like, outside,
Yeah.
we always see
Eyes and ears.
we do that.
Would y'all, attend board meetings?
What's that?
Would y'all be attending board meetings?
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's your account manager. So they'll be, yep, absolutely.
So the board meetings, for attendance shall be the account managers, ops managers, post manager, irrigation manager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everybody.
Basically, the top of the structure.
So the thing is, sometimes very, like, we hear what's complaining, like, read the email and don't understand what's the situation with the board, so, yeah, somebody that we like that.
Until everybody, it's complicated, it's better.
Yeah.
So I had her answer, and then maybe Karen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna hang up, I'll leave you the card.
So just, go hang around.
Great, thank you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Her and I showed up for 5 minutes ago. It's like, well, I came in, the whole smile was like, kind of like that, or whatever, it's like, where'd we go?
They realized what they're talking about, they bolted.
File them over, it's-
Yeah.
So they are a resident, they are now part of the team. His son and his friends, they're all part of the same organization. They're not here for game, any official practice, it's just to come together, they're all gonna wear the same shirt. So I know that they come back together, consider it.
Yeah, that's all.
That's where that's going.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jason?
Especially when your parents is here, who are clearly.
Everyone's, because we're recording here, if you want to stand up and do your presentation, like a little bit closer, so we have a vendor on the line. So yeah, we've got 10 minutes for everyone to present. Absolutely do that. Typically, I've just been running a few minutes over. The board will be deliberating afterwards.
Okay.
You're welcome to stay. Also have the contact information if you can provide it, so I can give you a call if I have questions. But absolutely, it's up to you guys. But yeah, so if you guys just wanted to get started, I'll start the clock, and you'll be able to see it. So you'll see how long you guys got. Thank you. All right, you guys want to go ahead? All right, let's get started.
So in these packets that I gave you, it's everything that's in our proposal, so nothing you haven't seen. What I did was I just wanted to streamline kind of what I'm going to hit on, so that it's easier for you to find there as opposed to having to sit through 100 pages of the proposal. So that being said, my name is Heath Busa. I'm the business developer for Yellowstone Landscape. This is Tim Bowerstock, he's our branch manager, and this is Brian Alexander, he's our production manager. The first 2 pages of our packet is our staffing summary. And We're going to assign an account manager to this property, a production manager, crew lead, a foreman, a mowing detail crew, and an irrigation and horticulture techs. So that would be everybody that encompasses the staffing on this property. In addition to that, we'll have our branch manager, Tim, as well as our irrigation manager, our port manager, and myself will all oversee the property. In other words, there'll be a lot of eyes on the property. And also, our irrigation and horticultural departments are all in-house, so there's no finger pointing. We all communicate with one another. Turn to the next page. That's our maintenance schedule, and that's our understanding of the scope of services. We will conduct landscape services 2 full days with 5 laborers weekly from April 1st through September 30th, and then bi-weekly during the winter season. We will have a detail crew that will service the property as well in 10 off weeks of the winter season that the regular maintenance crew is not servicing the property. This will equate to 52 property visits per year, and the ponds will also be mowed 34 times annually as outlined in the scope of the RFP. And then if you turn to the next page, this is our 30, 60, 90-day startup. The first page is the 30-day. I'm not going to read through all of it. I'm just going to kind of touch on the important parts of the first 30 days. So we'll first meet with the property manager to review the 30, 60, 90-day plan. We'll discuss with the property manager our approach to services and the service map, which basically are the areas that we're going to service each day that we're here. We'll complete an irrigation audit of the entire system, begin maintenance, mowing, blowing, and edging, spend a significant amount of time cleaning up areas that have been neglected, including sidewalk mowing and edging, bed weeds, and entrance features. We will continue weed control and planting beds, begin insect and disease program on all plant material, perform first turf fertilization applications, and then walk the property with the property manager to identify other areas of concern. Then moving on to the next page, which is now our 60-day, we'll walk the property with the property manager to evaluate improvements, evaluate our approach to services, and make any necessary adjustments. Continue the weed application, the weed control application, monitor and treat disease problems in plant material throughout the property, and discuss options to improve curb appeal in high-profile areas. And lastly, the 90 days, we will walk the property with the property manager to evaluate improvements and assess results from actions taken in the 30 and 60-day plan. So that's kind of a synopsis of our 30, 60, 90-day plan that we implement on all of our properties. And then if you turn to the next page, the page after that is the breakdown of our pricing and your investment. And I'm just kind of read through the year one total is 238 or 2,038,500. The year two total will remain the same. There'll be an increase in year 3 to 250,425, which will also remain the same in year 4. And then year 5 will be an increase to 262,946.25, and our 5-year average will be 248,159.25. And lastly, why Yellowstone? Yellowstone difference. So safety is our #1 goal. We have uniformed crews with bright safety shirts and vests on at all times, as you can see in the pictures in our brochure. That's exactly what our crew members look like on property. We wear full PPE, personal protection equipment. Our vehicles are clearly marked with safety cones marking the position of the vehicle and any equipment in the roadway or parking lots. Second is communication. Our communication is industry leading. We stay in constant communication with the assigned property manager as well as the CDD board. Our software programs like Tapigo, which we use as our monthly irrigation reporting system, will pinpoint any irrigation issues and send a detailed email summary of the issue with pictures as well. And lastly, quality of service and our experience. We want our community to be something you're proud of and worry-free, and we have the leadership, the financial capacity, as we are the second largest landscape company in the country, and the experience to properly serve a large CDD community like the Cree Lakes. With that being said, we also maintain other CDD properties locally, like Murata CDD, Longleaf CDD, and Stonebriar CDD, to name a few. I had my presentation set for about 7 minutes, so we're going to obviously be short here. But thank you for your time and consideration of our proposal, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do you all attend our CDD meetings, or would you be willing to attend CDD meetings?
Absolutely.
That's
We have, if not multiple representatives, at least be one, the account manager, production manager, usually.
And then I know you mentioned, some of the reporting, if there were issues, is there regular monthly or weekly reporting that you also send as well? Just as kind of an update on what's been happening throughout the community?
Yeah, so he mentioned Tobago in there, and what's Tobago? That's our irrigation audit software. It's industry leading. Like, we actually come out here and GPS locates your controller, your wells, your that, and it maps it. So we can provide you with a map, a history at any time of if you have problem areas that continue having mainline breaks in the same areas, or it documents that, and it's a live program where I can print out a report for that at any time and show you the history from day one, from the first audit to whatever time that is. But that's also how we do our monthly wet checks. So you'll get a report from that, and it's a live link, so you can click in the link when you get the report, and you got a broken head by the basketball courts or a busted line. In that, it will tell you what the problem is, but it'll actually have links to pictures so you can see. So you can see what the necessary needs for the repairs are. So you're not just, there's a broken line somewhere out on the boulevard, you know, where's it at, what is it, so you can actually see where it is. At any time, you can request the overall map, so you can actually see we had 5 mainline leaks on this one section of the boulevard within a 3-week time period. There's somebody driving over that, or people parking on it, and why is that constantly happening in that area? So, very good system there. And then we do site audits, which is they will come in and provide you with site audits for the actual maintenance services. And that's we can do it weekly. There's generally a weekly report that goes out to the property managers, but then a more in-depth monthly report for the meetings. It's like a lot of pictures and observations and what we see that's needed, or what we notice that needs improvement and that we're working on, and just an update for you guys. So.
Do you subcontract any of your work?
We do, the only thing that we do subcontract would be the palms. And potentially the mulch, it just depends. We do a lot of mulch in-house, but it depends on what makes more sense on the way out. As far as bringing trucks in to load in, sometimes it's more effective, so you don't have to leave pallets of mulch everywhere and hand everything, so.
I'm looking at the information y'all include as far as like hurricane cleanup, severe weather events. What's your average response time?
I think we were out after Helene. We were out the next morning. We were out the next morning, and we provide you guys with a detailed plan of our hurricane response throughout hurricane season. So, like, if you select us, we will be sending out a letter letting you know what to expect. But I think we hit 100% of all of our properties to get the major. We have different levels, like the entire property is not going to be cleaned up in the first 2 days, but major trees over roadways are cleared, sidewalks, anything that's dangerous, safety related, within the first 48 hours. And I can attest to that because I lost my entire home. I lost everything in Helene.
and I was actually sleeping with my family at the shop. We had to get out, so the crews got out.
Wow.
You want to say where it is in London Falls?
Sable Ridge?
Yeah.
That is Yellowstone, but that's not out of my branch. Our branch is located here on 52, we're like 15 minutes down the road.
Okay.
That is out of a campus center branch.
Okay.
I don't have any knowledge of that property.
Okay. I was curious if you see Yellowstone trucks.
Yeah.
You know, out of Yellowstone.
Yeah, we do, he mentioned a bunch of CDs, but we do, like Hard Rock, Seminole Hard Rock Casino, that's one, I just won a gold medal for that, last year for the National Landscape Professionals. So that's a national award that goes up against every property in the country and we won a gold medal. So, but we do resorts, we do apartments, CDD, our kind of, our bread baskets is CDDs, that's what, we probably 80% CDD and 20% other.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just gonna, the board will have the deliberation, you guys are welcome to stay.
Okay.
I have your contact, information, obviously, if you don't wanna, if you wanna stay,
You wanna
hang out. It's up
Are
to
we
you.
allowed to stay here in air conditioning?
Well, I'm here, so no, I don't think, but one vendor asked to stay, and I said, up to you, but I can't ask you to leave, you know,
Okay.
but then, in the end, everyone just like, hung out, but
Okay.
once you know, once the board have had their deliberation, I think I'll come in.
Okay.
with You guys, see, because they will be making a decision tonight, so.
Perfect. Appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, nice meeting you all.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the multiple branches, so each branch I already so I'm just trying to.
Which side?
The very right side,
Right up there.
yeah. The left side is that little E, the front of the sheet. Just put it so it's all one sheet.
And with the scoring, are we comfortable doing, look, obviously the big one was the pricing sheet where it's got a ranking of the pricing per vendor, after 1 year and 5-year projection. The pricing is actually just under the one, pricing. So overall, as a landscape line item for the districts, I added all of the line items up, that side. The beautifications and things like that. That was the line item that was increased. Yes, correct, that one. So I'm just saying about landscaping, everything, irrigation, everything, you had 345,000. Yes, because you increased it 230 for landscaping, and you did 60 for
Oh, you're
continuous.
talking about the new budget?
Correct, yeah, so I'm saying, because if you look at your old budget, because this was important, I know that there was a question, what do we currently pay now?
Right.
We were paying 232 for everything. So
Okay.
everyone else that's bid, you've got,
Everybody's within the budget.
yes, they are.
Well, the 232 would include the extras, so I know it was not within the budget.
Well, correct, well, I mean,
The budget that we created knowing that we were gonna have.
Oh, the new budget,
Yeah, that we were
yes,
gonna
yeah,
have a very.
yeah.
but if you go with so this is where you have a dilemma, you've got low bids and then you've got there's like a big swing between the two.
Oh, yeah.
But I think one question that we did ask, and I thought of it, when can they start?
Shit, that was on mine too.
But I know that but you've got,
Maybe we narrow it down and then call the top 2 or 3 and ask them.
Yeah, once
What
we
we
can show
use.
this now, and then.
Or, yeah, or we can start it now. Ask them. I don't know.
I say we show it first.
So hang on,
decided to get them to fit in with three
Yeah.
So do you want to ask, it would be like ask for the three to come in and just, instead of going like, hey, here's the short list, you've been asked to come back in for questions, you've been asked to come back in for questions, you've been asked to come in for questions, I'd rather kind of, because, Bennett, we can't do a, hey, here's three companies for a short list, can we?
No, we have to score them, we have to score them all at the same time.
So do we have to?
But I think, Jason, the way you just laid it out makes the most sense. I mean, you only have, you don't need to fabricate questions for firms that, you don't need questions for, so, if there are only three that you want to talk to, feel free to ask them. You can call them in all three at the same time, or you can do them individually. I think it may make more sense just because of how we handled this thus far with each individual vendor, kind of giving a chance to present their submission outside of the direct earshot or eyesight of their competitors. So just to keep it fair and balanced, probably would make sense if we did that, the same with respect to questions, right? Just each individual firm being called in one at a time to answer those questions.
That makes sense, that's what I feel makes sense. So, here's my kind of thought process that we can't do that. Let's run down the list, we'll start with top from the beginning to the end, and pros and cons, let's score them at that point, and their individual scoring at that point, and that's good, so kind of do like the everybody.
I think just off the bat, you got to meet the 6 vendors, the 2 that didn't present. I think that, that's just, okay, so per this, I think moving to this sheet might be a good idea, this one here, so we're all looking at the same one. Yeah, I just want to, if we're all looking at this one, we can go down, like you've got Devolve, and then there's LMP, Prince, let's go down this one here, I think, because then we can, or we can stick to this one. Which one do we all want to look at?
Yeah, it's easy to use a scoring sheet.
Okay. All right, so let's, and I've got a couple copies that we've changed and stuff, we can.
So are we going through each one and going, like, doing Duval and doing all 4 categories, or are we just doing category 1 for all 6?
Is there a vendor out of these 6 that you just don't want to be even considering other than the 2?
Nobody would have that right
No, I don't like that. I mean,
No, outside, they're outside.
Well, we have.
They've been outside, I'll check to make sure.
Nothing was in earshot that way when we talk about,
yeah.
like my man, we do, pushing up other institutions. You could be, nobody else.
They are all outside at the front.
So like you said, gets her out, or gets
Gets us out, so he didn't show up. Russell's
Russell's out, they didn't show up.
So that's 2 off.
And that was one of the low and highs, so it's like, it kind of, what you.
Starts to balance.
You went like this.
Yeah.
Kind of like, okay.
Out of the remainders, this is my personal opinion, out of the remainders, I wasn't very confident with Red Tree, the 2 brothers.
Really?
I actually like that.
I did too.
I mean, I
The
looked
2
at-
brothers makes me a little nervous.
Well,
considering
the-
Cardinals.
you just say Cardinals.
But I actually liked it.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Red Tree had a 3.7, so they had there were 2 tied at 3.7, which
Yeah.
gets did. Yeah, I mean, how many reviews out of 3.7, but.
Yeah.
The ball had the highest, LMP was close. I'll be honest, Yellowstone, I was not impressed whatsoever. He was reading from the script, he wasn't confident.
Yeah.
That just builds, there's no confidence in them, so.
And anytime you tell me you're the largest in the country at something,
Yeah.
probably not.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah, you care more about quantity than quality.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Yellowstone, I think to cross that out of it. What about your thoughts, Daniel? You good with that or not?
And guys, just to be clear, and I don't know exactly, we do still have, I understand the process right here, we still do score.
We will,
all
yeah.
of these.
Yeah, and we will score, and if we can do this, can we do a consensus score? Meaning,
Okay.
I think that's easier just doing one score
Yeah.
card on number 3, because taking yours, I want us to be on the same page. I would rather that rather than.
So do you want
If
to?
that's okay, to do better consensus score amongst the board. We're doing elimination, then we're going to score each one.
Okay, yeah, sure. In consensus is fine.
Okay, great. Alrighty, so that's, yellow stone is one that I.
Dan, did you have, just, you said red tree, you weren't thrilled, you know,
Yeah,
did you have another one?
My top two were, of course, our Prince and Sons, who's an interim, who kind of like the vibe of it, as far as they seem more local, they have that vested interest.
Yeah.
And they've already been out here for several weeks. My backup to them was, and actually, they don't use Juniper, however, that corporation makes a little bit higher, but not much.
I like them as well.
Yeah, so they were like my top two, and then, of course, everybody else was within a point or two of those. But those two stood out, either Prince and Son or Juniper. I kind of like Prince and Son a little bit more because they brought in 4 different people,
Yeah.
kind of like one of the other companies, I can't remember which one, but they brought in, they brought in an actual president, and said, hey, here's my company, it's got X amount of employees, and here's what we intend to do if we get the contract. So, Bill and Peter, there's like, yeah, so. And they're $10,000 a piece, they're apart. So that's already pre-scored based on the scoring method that is already out there. Yeah. And they're both out here 5 days a week with, or five main crews with 3 days a week. Prince and Sons, he's got everything in the house. And I'm thinking, looking at the numbers, I mean, I know they were kind of working in saying, hey, we can work with you, but as far as like tree uprooting, as far as getting them up higher, things like that. I think they can cover within the contract. I think they can cover within the contract.
Was tree height, like the 8-foot or 10-foot tree limit, is that not part of the scope?
We raised it to 12 in the scope.
Okay, because multiple said, oh, you need to have that done, and but some kind of comment they made it sound like it wasn't in the scope, and I thought that wasn't. So
Yeah,
that's-
it's-
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
The scope was very,
It's very detailed.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, they did really close to it.
So just as you look at that, the LMP and the Prince, they're very close.
Yeah, they're very close in dollars, they're very close in, accounting services and stuff like that, they're within a few $1,000 of each other, plus or minus. LNP's a little bit more expensive than extra services, where they're less expensive to a lower cost. I like that, they mentioned they have a aquatics division, so that could be a replacement maybe for Warner.
Oh, I don't know if that's aquatics, there's environmental clean out, I don't know if that aquatics is for that, not.
More classic horticultural side.
Yeah, maybe that would be a, applied aquatics, but that would be a question for them to come in, what's the difference? Is it mitigation monitoring, or is it aquatic, services? Because there's a difference between the two, I think that's a question for sure.
I like what LMP said, the conservation areas need to be cut back. I didn't hear that from anybody else when talking about it, and that has been a big issue in our community, so.
And we've had a lot of back and forth with, I'll use the word old regime on what is and isn't touchable. So we'll leave that as it is.
So just to narrow it down, Sunrise.
I didn't like them, but at the same time, I didn't get the, I feel confident vibe from them.
It felt very salesy, it just.
Yeah, it's like, we're gonna do all these great things, but the guys that are gonna do all these great things aren't the guys that were here.
Yeah.
They were seen as kind of a sales shield.
Yeah, and he didn't really talk very much, it almost seemed like he didn't have a lot of experience with, like, he wasn't here for very long. The other ones talked about very specific things that we need to have done. and
We're gonna
they
run into
really-
this, and we're gonna fix that.
Yeah, this was, we're gonna test your soil when we come out, and we're gonna do this, but it didn't really seem like they had a good understanding of what our property needs.
So Sunrise is the next axe.
Dan,
That's
did
okay with you guys?
I mean, I know we're not your top two, so.
I'm agreeing there.
All right, the only other one that we haven't really spoken about yet is the wall.
I didn't take a lot of notes on this. I had some notes already. They were unfortunately the first one, so always the fourth person.
Yeah.
It gets to set the bar, whether that's a positive set or a negative set. I don't think they did either.
Yeah, they only managed 3 CDDs and one of them they just signed, so that makes me a little nervous that they don't really have that much CDD experience. They're based out of Jacksonville, so they're not really.
And there's really nothing in the area between Jacksonville and South Florida. Well, that was my note that I had made earlier. My notes from their presentation was great presentation document, which it was, very detailed. There
Oh,
was a
yeah,
lot
it's
of
like 100
information.
pages.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But the biggest thing that really stood out to me with them was there's just no Pasco business in their portfolio.
Yeah.
And are they going to, and I hate to bring up Curtis, but are they going to be a Curtis where they're trying to plant themselves here and we're the guinea pig to see if the business sticks, and then now they don't have a dedicated crew, they don't have this, they don't have that. So I have that fear of they're going to promise a lot of stuff and try to deliver and then fall away.
I did like that everything is announced there, they don't subcontract, but
Yeah.
I just didn't, I felt like, a couple of the other ones had a lot more positives than you all.
Thanks, Max.
Okay.
So that gets us down, I mean, so like everybody consensus is, yeah, and, then you got some reservations on Red Tree, so if you wanna kind of hit on that.
Well, I mean,
Just compared to the others.
compared to the others, I mean, it's only two brothers compared to Prince and Sons, who's obviously a family-owned business. There's multiple guys here tonight where you'd think both brothers would have showed up.
Well, he said his birthday party for son or nephew or something.
And I get that, I mean, but it's one, if you're
It's
only
also
location
hanging on
on
contract.
if your only location is in Holiday and you're only servicing Pasco, where you got Prince and Sons there, 3 different locations within the Hillsborough Pasco area, and you got
Cover a lot of Florida.
cover all of Central Florida basically. That kind of shines above Red Tree. So, just a little thing about that, I got to.
Yeah, they did have a very detailed, report on all the different stuff that they would or could do.
Yeah, and both of them have all the license aspects, but I think, I have to go back and look at records, but I'm pretty sure that individual applicators,
Individual applicator needs a whole
they
license.
license, license as well.
Yeah.
So,
I had that as a note as well, that just the 2 brothers hold the licenses, and I think it was Prince that specifically said all of their guys.
all their
One of
guys,
them
all their foremans or whoever they're out here.
has to be
Whatever they're
licensed.
applicating.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're applying, that individual person has
Yes.
that license to do so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love
Which
that.
that's a legality.
Yeah, I think it was perfect.
So, next facts. Richard.
Okay.
So it gets us down to Juniper, LP, and.
Yeah,
Friends.
I don't think that's they merged anything during the.
2024, what Scott said, one Juniper ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Prince has an advantage in that they've been out here for a few months, and like he said, they know exactly what they're bidding. So I think that's helpful in knowing that, yes, they're the most expensive, but also I don't feel like we're gonna have surprises down the road. I feel like the price, they bid it based on being out here and doing the work and really seeing it. So I think to me that gives them an edge over LMP, but I really like LMP too.
Well, I took back, I think, again, they said it started mulch, whenever they were doing the price estimate of mulch for the $8,000 or it was, they were going off the figure for 175, or we should have been at 225, 250 range.
Yeah.
And then saying, okay, we can back down some of the other stuff to get the mulch back to adequate levels.
Yeah.
So then, even though there might be more than Juniper, at least they're willing to work with us there and say, okay, we can cut some of the costs over here to save it over here.
Yeah.
And try to make it better for both of y'all.
Did LP, I know Prince did, most others did, and I'm pretty sure they did, they're also running cover, but they did go over soil samples and irrigation mapping, and that was one of the things that really drove for LP. That was one of the really things that stood out for a lot of them was, they were really going over, volunteering, basically, we're going to map the irrigation system. I know from email that we exchanged, Jason, that you exchanged with Cardinal, was that actually told us to pound sand, even though on record, he said he's going to provide.
The irrigation, mapping was more, I don't know if it was even wrote down, it was more knowledge of the irrigation tech rather than.
Well, what was the first second part of that was, and that's what I kind of reiterated in the email was, Steve and I very pinpointed asked for that, and we did. He was like, no, you're not getting that, but he verbally said in the meeting, you know, in our recorded session, that I'm going to do that, which would save us time and whatever, but at the same time, his response, as negative as it was you can bounce into. But that was one of the things I liked about a lot of those, is they're all willing to go through and do that, do the legwork to, you know, to put that together. A lot, and I'm very torn with them too. They both had great presentations, they both had lots of information, their presentations there were both really good.
They're very close in price.
They're within $10,000 of each other. They're both. And they're both within what's in our budget.
So I'm looking at some of the projects that Prince and Sons included within their package. I mean, Monarch Springs Park, that's a huge city or county-owned park. They've got several different CDs there on the more prestige sites, or prestige side. The maintenance proposal, I mean, looking at that, it's pretty detailed per page.
I'll be honest, on the two, using locations they service, LMP to me held a little higher standard than Prince did based on.
They have some big CDDs.
They've got some big CDDs, and every single one of them, and they're all beautiful. It's not driving any going home because they're landscaping. Well, LMP's typically a little bit less, but you know, to their point, which one wasn't done in West Chase?
The West Chase.
That was
right there. Okay. So,
So when
Wilderness
we
Lakes.
can call them back in here, we can ask LMP about the aquatics, and we can do we have to ask them all the same questions, or can we just?
No, we could go out there and just say they would like to speak to LMP, and then we'd like to speak to Prince. Maybe just ask LMP to come in.
Okay.
And then,
So for LMP, we need to ask them about the aquatics, and then when they start, are there any other questions we want to ask LMP?
I would think we would have to vote.
Do you know what questions you want to ask before we get?
No, just go and ask them to come in, and then,
Irrigation, was there a question on the irrigation for LMP? I don't have, it says they have an irrigation contractor.
Okay, so aquatics and what?
When do they start?
yeah, I think that's important, like, when they can start, because I think you've got.
When you start,
That's
we're
like-
on a week with all that. That would put them, wanting them to start the 28th. That would be the notice period, so it would be the 28th.
LMP
No,
is
they
gone.
didn't. Okay, well, I'll get Scott. Yeah, Scott sent me his contact information, like I said.
Prince and Sons still out there?
I believe there's still one.
Yeah, that's the.
Ian said he said he was.
Yep, you want me to get him?
Yeah.
Well, do you want me to call Scott first?
Okay.
I would say, like you said, for the other product start date and then.
Hey Scott, Jason here with you, nice, how you doing? Good, good. Hey, here's a couple, the board have a couple of questions for you regarding your proposal. I'm just gonna have it, the phone's gonna be in the middle here. Can you hear the board members okay?
Hey Scott. So one of the questions that we had was, you said you have an aquatics division, so we have, aquatics mitigation contracts already. So can you just give us a little detail of what your aquatics division is capable of?
Yes, and the same thing that what you're doing right now, mitigation, and, treatment of ponds, pond banks, standard, what standard aquatics treatment.
was, and I don't remember if we, whether or not, if we did, I apologize, irrigation specifically. So one of the things that we don't really have right now is a map of the system of the zones. And all of that, was that something that you guys can do, to put that in the document? Okay. And then the last question, if you were awarded, when is the soonest that you could start?
Well, when do you need me to start?
Next week.
July 28th?
I can definitely, ramp up to commit to August 1.
Okay.
So if I need to get in there early, look, I can do it.
So technically that would be August 4th if you started on Monday?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so if August 4th is a Monday, then I may have a presence up there of some sort on a Friday.
Okay.
Right? So Monday would be Friday the 1st, Saturday the 2nd, Sunday the 3rd, Monday would be the 4th. So probably have irrigation guys in there right away, doing an inspection on that Friday to get started. Because obviously, as we all know, that's the lifeline of everything as it relates to the landscape up there. So if we do our inspection, we do our wet check immediately right there, that's going to tell us the story. We're going to go ahead and get soil samples right away, we get water samples, so that can tell us exactly what we need to put into the ground. And we also can tell us, like, if the water has any things where we can have our custom fertilizer that we always have made, we can have that tweaked accordingly. You know, let's say it's heavy, let's say the water's heavy with iron, and we can certainly have stuff put into the fertilizer that would mitigate that.
And use liquid or granular?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we will use granular. If we need to come in and spot treat something, yeah, that's usually by liquid.
Okay.
Integrated cosmetic, that we practice in. And the other thing I feel that we also have 75 people that are B2B certified, past the financial loan, so they know what to do and what not to do.
Cool. Any other questions? All right, back to deliberation, Scott. Appreciate the answer to the call, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be ready to start then August 1st.
All right.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Thanks.
Prince and Son.
Shaking your butt. You're allowed to.
Thank you for sticking around.
Thanks
So,
for calling me in.
just a couple of more questions for Prince, and if you'd like to.
So one was specifically to, I noticed we talked a lot about irrigation. So one of the things that has been brought up and talked about, whatever, was mapping specifically. And that's something we don't have. That's something we were not provided from previous contracts. So hey, that's something I assume you guys are capable of doing. And then putting that in documentation that, that we would have forever as you go through.
Yeah, we can.
Fix all the.
It won't be overnight, but we can definitely do that. And
Yeah.
mark which sign, whether they are sprays or rotors or, strip or bubblers, all that.
Okay.
Yeah, you need that out here for sure.
Yeah, it's very frustrating when you hear all the clock this and that. It's like, I don't know what that means in a piece of paper or electronic document that says, oh, it's here and drawn.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense, absolutely.
The other one, and it's kind of an open-ended question in a way, because you're kind of already here, but if you were awarded the contract, when would you be able to start the actual 3 days a week and all of that?
Yeah, well, we only bid on 10 guys out here, and we've already been putting 12 or 13 out here, so we're going to immediately. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as we get, sooner the better, because we really want to get these coming.
How about aquatic programs, as far as like the ponds and other reservoir areas, conservation areas?
Yeah, we don't do anything, we have an aquatic license, we don't do anything in water. We just keep the aquatic license, so we just play back, but that's a product you can use to spray Roundup to spray in different cracks, because that mossy stuff, stuff like that, so we have that just for that reason, honestly, but we don't go in water. You know, it's a different thing. But I have a bunch of great companies that we work with, like, you know.
You got to be subcontracted out.
Oh, we would have to subcontract if you wanted to, yeah, if you wanted to, we can do that for you, or we can refer someone to you, whichever you want to do.
We have a products company and products negation
Okay.
already.
Okay.
But it was just one of those things that it's, you know, could be an all-in-one solution.
Sure.
Asking that question.
Yeah. We don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a specialized thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to deliberation.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back in for a minute, buddy.
Thank you, actually, I'm not fitting the time here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So obviously with, we still need to do the scoring, but once we figured out like where the meeting going or whatever, like with the board members, we just need to complete the scoring from each vendor, and then we're gonna have a score out of 100 for them, because we need to do that for every vendor.
Okay, so why would you recommend going with Prince over,
This, I can't have, I'm not allowed to have
oh, you're not allowed
influence.
to?
No, like Bennett, you know, if the board asks recommendation, we strictly advise, we're not allowed to really chime in on that, right, Bennett?
No, I mean, if you want to, I mean, if the staff wants to weigh in and give their thoughts, just based on their experience on the various proposals and their opinion on general firm reputation, things like that, that's perfectly okay.
You whittle down to two companies that you can pick from. They're both priced very similarly. You've got Prince and Sons threw up their hands, they were here immediately, they started doing good work. You guys, they've said that they would, if awarded, there's potential cost savings, obviously they've said that. We're staying on track, but that's what they essentially said within the parameters. See,
I like we do the same with LMP or anybody else, you know.
right.
Once we're out of the blackout period where we can't ask questions, they can't ask questions.
Right.
The contract's been awarded, and at that point, the contract's been awarded, and then can you do X?
LMP is also a very large vendor. We also work with them. They did do the merge with another big vendor. You see that's pros and cons with the merge. Ultimately, we're bidding for landscaping, so I don't think aquatics and services outside of that, because I didn't know that, we're not bidding that. So I don't want that to be.
It gives them an advantage, though. I know that's out of the scope, but it also gives them an advantage because now they're the one group that it's not, well, they put that in there, they mowed clippings in there, they did whatever that caused the need for mitigation. They're going to take that extra level of care to be able to not create extra work and extra problems that we have.
What have some of the challenges been with the other communities that have LMP that have gone through merge? You said there were some challenges.
Well, no, there is there challenges, is
Oh,
what I
okay.
said, there is there challenges.
Oh,
You know, the company's gone out for landscape RFPs.
I think the thing you gotta look at is just, if we're strictly looking at aquatics level, of what the pricing we had for the two service providers that we had to do the aquatics, aside from landscaping, whereas if it was more for LMP to come in and say, we can do everything all in one price, versus Prince doing landscaping and all that, and subcontracting the aquatics out. Like we had before. Or using one of their subs and replacing the subs.
yeah, that's, I'm with Glenn where I think them doing the
Because now we're
aquatics,
just gonna
they're
count apples at
already,
this
right,
point.
there are, I mean, the price was close, but LMP is cheaper, and if we can include all of our aquatics in that, I mean,
That's the way that's working out.
I think they each have the edge. LMP has the edge with the aquatics, Prince has the edge that they've been here and
And
really
it's all Central Florida, it's not
Yeah.
all over the
So you
state.
have an aquatics issue.
Yeah. We don't. I just like the idea of, I feel like they're going to take better care of everything that they're doing, whether it's, you know, mowing at the edge, weeding at the edge, or whatever, and not creating an issue that another group of people are gonna have to go fix. Whereas that, not saying that, you know, Prince wouldn't take the same level of care, but it's just, they just have an advantage, you know, because of that. And my thoughts and theories professionally, I think that, you know, that they would have the advantage there, where granted, Prince does have the last 6 weeks of advantage. And over the last 6 weeks, only being here 1 day a week, have improvements been made? Yes. Have they done a better job than the mic drop? Yes. But at the same time, I think LMP would be the better choice in going off of Daniel's numbers. They outscored by a point and a half over Prince. I don't know. If I had to choose, just to choose, not all the numbers, I think LMP would be the one that, using Daniel's numbers, I agree with.
Well, and I'm kind of subject, because I'm right here on the fence with both of them.
Yeah.
They're so close, they're so close, and they've even said, hey, we might be more, and they knew that coming in, they said, we might be more, but we're willing to work with you.
The LMP.
Prince said that. I foresee LMP being able to do the, you know, the same thing, you know, hey, can we dig a little deeper? Their extras is slightly more.
But we have to have a lot of extras to take care of what's been like the last 1 year.
Well, and that's where we hold them, whoever it is, we hold them to the contract to the T and every dot and I that's in there. And that's something that A, wasn't being done with Cardinal, and B, the Cardinal contract was pretty wishy-washy on a lot of stuff. It was very vague. Clayton did an extremely good job of putting together a scope of work that was very, very detailed to be able to go back and hold accountable whoever, you know, it is that comes in and said, no, you know, you're only cutting trees at 10 feet, you're supposed to cut them 12 as part of the contract, we're not paying extra, you know, for that or whatever. And when we were looking at $64,000 worth of tree trimming, how much of that can be absorbed into the contract?
Yeah. I did like that Prince really hit on communication and continuity. So that's been a big sore spot for us.
And especially if we're only getting services every week, and we get one monthly email saying, hey, here's what we've done.
Right.
Whereas like they were saying, hey, we're gonna have boots on the ground, we're gonna have a phone out there taking pictures. I think we're going to get a lot more from that communication aspect from Prince. Now that they're better, hey, here's what the scope of work entails.
Also, LMP does outsource
Home and mulch.
and animals.
Or mulch and animals.
Mulch and animals, whereas Prince does
That's
not.
everything now.
Yeah.
Did Scott say that they would do animals, or was it just he kind of sounded kind of wishy-washy on both, whether they would depending on the size, it kind of sounded like if they would push it out, or if they would keep it.
I wrote down that they would subcontract animals and mulch. Maybe it was, one of them talked about the mulch, depending on. Yeah, yeah. It depended on.
But you're only talking 3 major areas for animals. You're talking each of the board and from the clubhouse. So it's not like a huge project.
Right.
Please.
No, don't get me started on that, you'll hold email from.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
so,
not yet. Let's.
I don't know, how do we say? I mean, they're literally within a point of each other, they're within $10,000 of each other, their Google ratings and the Google ratings are within a point two of each other.
Point two of each other. Well, and how many Google ratings did LMP have?
for 3.5 hours.
LFP was one that had multiple locations, so it was hard to get a Google rating.
What was Princeton most we were in? 3.4?
Yeah.
I wrote it down on the
LFP 3.5, 3.1, 3.0, so 3.5 was their high one.
Yeah, but out of how many reviews of it?
22, 34, and 4.
4.
Sons had 69 reviews at 3.7, and that's just one, like they didn't have multiple locations listed, so.
So there's 3 times the reviews for Princeton on Facebook, there's 2 times less, 3 times less. Or 4 times less. LMP had 2,000 reviews versus 100,000 versus. And that's because like to, of course, at the same time, I'm fighting with your company right now.
Well, and you're talking statewide versus just Central Florida, right?
Yeah.
And they've got that construction aspect that it sounded like it was more front loaded, that hey, it's a construction business, but we're also doing the landscaping side too.
Who's that?
For LMP.
I think for me, like, I think it sounds really sexy to have the aquatics rolled in, but I feel like Prince having the experience of being here, for me, might outweigh the savings of the aquatics.
I won't use the words unfair advantage.
I know, I know, it is.
Okay, but think of it this way, if Prince wasn't here for the last 4 weeks or so, you still had Parker here. If it came down to those two, if Mike was still running the show here with his crew, and you still had both of these companies coming in, apples to apples, who would you pick at?
And I'm not using an unfair advantage for them as well, but I'm using the aquatics as the unfair advantage.
If take out his box, okay, you could subcontract.
You can sub that out or whatever, but, it's very hard, they both had a great presentation, they both had multiple people, they both had, like very confident.
And I think just sticking to the RFP, what it is, like what is the aquatics review? If we're doing, you've just done those reviews, aquatic reviews.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like.
Yeah, I will say the aquatic services are completely kind of outside. If I'm understanding what LMP is, and when you guys are considering aquatics here, it is outside the scope of what we had contemplated in the project manual. It's also, to my knowledge, not included in the actual scope of the draft agreement we included to the project manual.
Yeah, agreed. I think our problem is if we look at the scope, they're pretty much, we're trying to figure out, they're pretty much exactly the same, and we're trying to use something to make a decision on one or the other.
One advantage LMP would have over Prince would be size and capacity, and then volume of funding. LMP, number 2, they're a $25 million company. Prince is number 3. Okay, I'm wrong. They're a $44 million company.
Well,
If it's
I mean,
right.
again, if we're comparing the scope, Prince doesn't subcontract, LMP does subcontract them, so I feel like that, so you've got 2 positives under Prince, if we're looking strictly at landscaping, apples to apples, not giving Prince an advantage for being here for the past month or 2. Also, Prince is the only one who has stuck around. I like that, he should get points for that.
I did offer everyone the same thing.
Right.
I didn't change it, right? It wasn't a case of I did say you're welcome to leave, but I really want that to go against LMP, obviously. Just,
No, I'm not saying it goes.
I know, but like, we're talking about.
We're trying to pick anything to make a decision.
I think in 22, this is just me, I would roll with Prince and Sons. That's just me.
I liked that the 4 guys that were here, all of them spoke, and and all of them, you could tell they were very cohesive, I think. I think,
Especially having the CEO, the top leader of the company.
yeah.
And having everybody meet them.
LMP, the one guy didn't speak at all. The
It's a
woman,
three, he's about 3 weeks.
the woman spoke for a little bit, but I don't know. I think I would lean more towards Prince as well.
So I just scored on what my thoughts are, and basically they're dead even.
That's not helpful.
Hold on. But when you throw the price multiplier in there. And it's not even full point, it's not like a half point advantage, that's based on calculations of the price advantage. So basically it's across the board is 2020, 2019, and then the 14.62, and then 19, 20, 20, and then 13.9. It's so damn close.
So how do we pick? Yeah, pick one of them.
I think we, let's.
Well, I mean, if we're going off the score, I mean, that's the quote unquote, like we're supposed to do. Daniel's got LMP with a slight advantage, I have LMP with a slight advantage on score. But my multiplier, and yours probably is too, is the cost multiplier.
Yeah. One, I'm looking at it just strictly, so the 5-year average for LMP is 280. Or no, I take it back.
Yeah,
Yeah, 280. 5-year essentials and extras is 316. You're really only talking about in a $10,000 difference. I think that extra 10K, if not 15, 20K, could hardly be made up between little projects here and there throughout the year.
Right, but based on the numbers that we have to go off of, the multiplier that's there, we can't take that into account.
You got to do understanding your scope. Understanding your scope is 20 points. Goes to who understands the scope the most. 20 points personnel and equipment. Experience.
I mean, to me.
Yeah, you can, I want to say for the record, of the different categories, obviously, all of them to price are fairly subjective. For price, there actually is a formula, that was written into the project manual, so that'll be, obviously, we'll just have to calculate the numbers, there, and we'll use, we'll use that number. That you guys have already, Jason. Just wanted to make sure it's understood that you guys, with the exception of price, that you guys do have the discretion to score that and assign the numbers there as you see fit. There's no kind of objective formula that you can apply or have to.
I mean, on my scoring, I give Prince and Sons 20s, but for LMP, for understanding of scope, I'm giving them an 18 because Princeton, they do have an advantage. They've been here, they really understand. To me, they get more points on understanding the scope, and then they get an extra point on personnel and equipment because they don't subcontract anything. So I think in my scoring, Prince would edge them out. Fair.
It's not even a full one between the cost part, 40.62 to 13.90.
This is like what your goals, because I want to start putting numbers down. And I think we do the top down because once we've got the top two finished, then the rest kind of fall into place. I think you can go.
I can go, but yeah, that's my top two. Well, and I'm literally a half a point difference, except if you take out the price that's already been calculated, I'm a half point difference leading up to that.
Yeah, I'm a half point difference now as well, but Prince and Sons comes out half a point on top.
And they're on mine at half lower. You factor in 14.62 versus 13.9. And I'm looking at it over the course of 5 years, not just. trying to look at it collectively here. So that's why
Well,
I'm more
this
inclined,
says-
even
this
though
says
my
5-year
numbers are,
average.
even though my numbers are lower for print section, I'm looking at collectively. Okay, they're half point short here, but then for long term,
But this number is the 5-year average.
yeah, yeah.
It's just me, I heard the door, so. So they just open and close it. Yeah, and I think you're trying to get some of the cool air out there.
Yeah.
They have vehicles over there.
All right, could we let's start with Prince's scoring, like, do you guys want a consensus on their scoring, like total numbers, and then LMPs, and we'll go from there, is that okay?
You had 20s across, what did you give Prince and 19 for personal?
Solely based on size of the company and equipment size, or equipment numbers. And the thought process there, a bit of a slight advantage, and that is because they are so much bigger. If they have someone quits, someone expires, someone gets sick, whatever that is, it's not a, they're going to pull from the crew when I'm down a person, it's not taking an extra day. It's easy for them to theoretically grab bodies from other projects or whatever, or extra bodies in play that they can throw a project. Same with equipment. The thought process in theory there would be they've got enough backup equipment, if they've got a mower or two that goes down for whatever reason, they're not slowing down or whatever because they've got more equipment there.
Do we know that would be an issue for Prince though?
I'm just basing it on the size of the company in general, and thought process based around headcount and equipment. If you look at their equipment portfolios, they're pretty close. It looks like Juniper, LMP obviously has more because they're just bigger. But you said, which one was, had more financial capacity? Prince did? If my numbers are right, surprisingly enough, and like I said, I'm not sure if this is right now, we can check it quick, but, Prince was number 3 on my list, and I've got them, at a $44 million company, where the financials that were disclosed for LMP was $25 million. We don't know, though, if that's $25 million for LMP as LMP, or if that's $25 million business. Well, with them being part of Juniper, if it depends on if they're combining financials as a company, right? If they're combining financials as one thing, but if they're not, principal lows around the water, almost double on grand revenue. And that speaks volumes. The other advantage I was kind of, thinking for some of the other things too, which I ran, they give them both a 20 on it, but the outlier for LNP was, and we talked about this a little bit ago, the CDDs that they currently manage are big. And, these are, properties, there's $1 million properties in these communities, and the aesthetics of everything else brings, that property value up. And, it's been in every one of those, and they're always pristine. But at the same time, though, the ones that I've seen, the friends of that have been in, again, they're pristine.
Yeah.
Really difficult. And we've got to have 2 so close. It's not like it's slammed up.
It's not even fair.
It's really not. It's really not.
Okay, so Jason, what do we need to do?
Yeah, I just want the total numbers, what you've got for these vendors. You know what you got. So,
I mean, the only thing I can say is how I scored and how Daniel scored puts LMP with the advantage. You scored very, very close with Prince with the advantage. Mine is solid for the overall cost of play. Yeah, I'm not putting difference really. I'm not going off.
and if knowing the financials, I would be going for the Prince and LP from what I had, and then less than it's 0.2. 0.2 is right.
Yeah, if I didn't give LMP 20, the full 20 for financial capacity,
they're both very profitable benefits.
Yeah.
We were comparing this, you know, one was 6.2 million, one was 475,000, 1.4 million, 8.4 million, outside of, I'm not sure, outside of Sunrise, outside of Russell, they were the two most profitable. Russell was at 75.
So Glenn, if you had to pick, I don't know for about this, but you would pick LMP?
I would, and it's not that I don't think principal is not a good job, but, oh, it's got a better value.
That's funny, because I got a better, I love with friends, I
Yeah.
think. That's
They
kind of what I
both
keep
do
going
so
back to,
well.
yeah.
In certain ways, Prince did present better because of the collaborative communication that they have between the four of them.
And that's where I felt like you could tell they worked well as a team. I
Yeah,
mean,
they meshed,
they meshed really well and all spoke very highly of each other, which I think says a lot. And I just didn't quite get that from LMP. We're splitting hairs at this point.
So I've got Glenn, LMP,
I
and
think
you
I would
Prince.
I would be Prince. I mean, I would flip, based on the financials, I would flip another around, then it's literally the difference between if I do an asterisk.
I feel like we can't go wrong.
We can't go wrong either way. No, I agree.
I'm not saying that you can't either.
Yeah, I
It's
think we
just-
just need to make a decision and.
It would literally be 0.2 tenths of difference per month.
So with that split, right now it's really close, but
Well, the unfortunate of this whole thing is, and I want this out there, we have two board members that are not here to share an extremely important decision over the next 5 years.
it could be.
And it could have split something
Right.
completely different, and swayed it in such a different way. And, you know, I hate to sound negative or nasty or hateful, and it's not, I'm a business person, and I think of it just as a business, this is a board meeting for a business, and you've got two folks that are your share price. And, but we'll miss by that. Because it's left us three, which were very, very capable people of making the, you know, this decision.
But we get to have more input,
It was.
especially Steve, who's in that field, well, not in landscaping specifically, but.
Very informed of
Yeah.
all the details surrounding the landscape contract and the
Right,
bids.
we can finish off that later, we need to make a decision.
Well, yeah, you got 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I get Dan's score?
Are you okay?
I think Dan's filling it
I'm
out.
okay, honestly, I'm okay with either one. We literally cannot go wrong.
I agree.
Is that your total score? I'm just gonna read it out as a total consensus.
That's
If
fine.
it makes sense.
Okay, so,
Look at the,
but I need to go,
here. So then, if I flip those two numbers around, the 11 and 12, that he gives us the 52.5 versus 51, plus the difference, so then
I mean, our-
65.62 versus 66.4.
so you're doing,
Okay.
okay, so I know that you guys did 20s.
Yeah.
Dan's gone with
I went a little bit lower.
13, 12.5, 11, so the high score here, we've got 66.4 with Prince, LMP with a second of 65.62.
93.62 and 91.
Yeah, and
Oh, you're scoring a lot higher.
So which scoring do we want to go? Do we want to do it with
we
the,
might want to do, at least for the two, maybe do Glenn's and then do Dan's for everything else. I mean, because we would expect them to be high, right?
Yeah, because those are my two higher ones, everything else is, dang, you're tough.
Out of 100, I would expect
Yeah,
some of
I
our
think-
high rate to be about
there's
a
no one
60.
with 20 in here, like, wow. I hate you guys. As my teacher,
Everything else
Oh, but
is
yours is
61 to
what?
63.
he's the guy with the D's 50 degree. kind of-
Exactly. C's her degrees.
Yeah.
What's your score?
Mine's 93.9. Yeah.
No, I've got one clean here.
Here, I have another one.
We've got this one here, I'm just gonna take.
Maybe we use those or those two and everything else for everything else. Yeah.
Because even then, it's still so far apart.
Can we?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That we could clean.
You're the greatest German professor, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know, I have to make you.
So can we call him back in and let him know?
I just wanna have it for the record, like, what, I'm gonna speak it to the record, the score and reach.
What, okay, I don't, what number am I using here, Dan, the 12? No, the 11?
I think it's the 11, yeah.
I don't know if using this was quick paperwork. Just find out, just to make sure, so just verifying this.
Wait, let me get another,
Sorry. 2 weeks maybe?
There we go.
Yeah, we're looking at all.
I have pencil here.
We want a
That
pencil.
should be fine.
Yeah, first I want that one here. Make
It'll
that.
be 29. We're gonna say that's a Thursday. I'll send you an email. But you can share it in there. Hold on.
Oh, we need to put this, like,
Oh.
zero squares, but they showed up.
I can't.
There's really nothing. No, I think it's already been used.
Sorry.
Can we get another score sheet that hasn't been drawn on yet? We have another one. Yeah, we can use that one, that's
Sorry.
fine.
Here, I'll do it this way.
Jeez, now you have one job.
I know.
I have no more clean copies. No pressure.
Yeah, perfect, yeah,
You got a printer?
We do.
Well, that one's done.
Fmartin, FMARTIN @gms-tampa.com. Excuse me. You just put subject that you're editing, put a date.
Well, I think it was 93, and I got 60. Like, well, you had two different, professors teaching the same class. One's bell curve, was crap. Yeah, that's.
Don't confuse her right now.
I'll have to back.
Don't do it.
You know, we lose quorum in 22 minutes, so.
Yep. From bottom, so realistically, the last, last place was Getz with, they were last because they got the smaller points. Then it was Russell because they got the points for the pricing, the 5-year pricing. And then you've got followed by, in fourth was Sunrise. Okay, let's start here again. So we had you had eight landscape companies bid. In 8th place was Getz. 7th was Russell Landscaping. 6th, Red Tree. 5 was Sunrise. 4 was Yellowstone. 3 was DeVol. No, DeVol was 5th. 6th.
8.
Getz in 8th.
7.
7 was Russell.
6.
6 was Red Tree.
5.
5 was DeVol.
4.
Was Sunrise.
3.
Yellowstone.
That's surprising.
2 was LMP. Was Prince and Sons.
You can go grab any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wanna go
can
grab
we
it?
just take a motion to approve,
Motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
That's right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's the door.
All right. was a motion was made by Janelle, and then a second by Dan. All in favor? Alrighty, motion passes. Are we alright taking a 5-minute, or 2-second break?
2 seconds, yeah. Probably we talk first and then.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Hey, guys.
Thank you.
Alright. Lucas, congratulations.
Thank you.
It was very close between Prince and Alan P. Ultimately, we do have a couple of items, and we'll be notifying the rest of the bidders. It was very close between you guys and Alan P. But congratulations. Yeah. Do we need anything else from Prince? I think it's Bennett drawing up that contract to be effective and immediately getting back to. Do we want it effective today? Okay.
I guess technically, tomorrow, that way he's got a minute to draw it up.
Yeah, maybe, or even Monday, however it fits.
Yeah.
And then we got full authorization for the chairman to draw this up. All right. Excellent.
Okay, yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Like I said, the project manual included the form of agreement, so it won't take very long to wrap it up. I can certainly get it out to the Prince and Sons tomorrow. We can fully execute a copy. I'm sure by close of business.
Okay. All righty. Lucas, I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to add, or?
I think guys, we're ready to get turned around here. We're very, very happy. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
We're excited. So, thank you guys. Got it here.
Thanks, dude.
Alrighty. I think I'm gonna sit and hold it to get through the next 17 minutes as much as we can. Do we want to go over the field manager's report? So just so you know, Marshall's not here. He's actually out of the country. He's on PTO. So that's why he's not here today. It was something that was scheduled, but he did provide his report in the agenda. He has been just fabulous to have, and exactly what this district needs. There was one thing that came up the other day. It was pointed out. You had some resident or someone graffiti on the pathway. We did have to dispatch immediately for someone to come out and clean it up. So that was performed. You know, like Marshall did help facilitate, Clayton also helped facilitate this, the landscape RFP, putting it together. Thank you guys for all of your input. That was a very tough decision. I'm not disputing, I'm very pleased that the three of you, we finally got to a decision where we could make a decision. It would have been nice if we had 2 more, but it's, it is what it is. But I think that partnership is going to be very important for you guys, and also that's always a very good for GMS, and also their synergy, making sure that they get you where you need to be. Anything else for I know Marshall's been in correspondence with us. He's got a few more action items here that he's got. The stone replacement for the pool drain was done, the traffic service, boiler lighting. If there's any other questions, I know we're short, we've only got 15 minutes, and we do have our workshop. If there are anything, I'm more than happy to add them as business items to that workshop where we've got a budget.
Jason, I believe it's going to be actually a special meeting, right? It's a workshop, we're going to make business decisions at that meeting, correct?
Yes, we did change it to a special meeting so you can make decisions.
Okay, yeah,
We flipped it from budget workshop, and then we made it a special meeting. Good call. We are we've been promised that we will have your reserve study ready for that meeting.
Awesome.
So we will have it, which is great. We've been corresponding with a lot of things. Typically, there was a 12 to 16 week turnaround, but we've leveraged heavily that we really need this. And they've been very responsive, which is great. Marshall also has been very good with that. Also, Dreamer, thank you for helping with the reserve study with the questions and answering of those with the amenity.
Is the budget proposal going to be mailed out to the community?
Yes, it will be 21 days before we adopt the budget won't be mailed out. They will get that nasty letter with all the questions.
Yeah.
That will go up. They will receive that 21 days before your. That's the statutory requirement to get it
Right,
out there.
but I had
21 days.
messaged, I thought you were on that email with Nicole, and she said that she thought that she said they could get it out so that it would be out before before our workshop.
Yes, it will be, because 21 days, your August meeting is,
It's a special workshop in 2 weeks, the August meeting.
yeah, your August meeting is set for the 19th, so if I need to we like to get it out earlier. I'm anticipating it will go out in the mail by the end of this week, so it'll be even earlier. The requirement's 21 days. We don't push it to 21 days. It's a case of, please.
Yeah, I know it is, I just had messaged with Nicole, and she thought that they could get it out
Well,
in
yeah.
enough time before the budget meeting.
Yes,
Just so the community has it, and
It
I'd
would
rather
be-
they come to that, and.
Yes. I will follow up with the assessment team just to make sure, like, hey, can we get it out on Friday, don't wait.
Okay.
Because what we like to do is make sure it's fresh so they can see it. Sometimes if you get it out too early, but this is perfect to get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'd rather they come to that meeting if they have questions, or.
Even if they got it out prior, they didn't have it by next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Your site report, obviously you see that with the landscaping. Field manager's report is also included. He's got an action items list, he's got a site review and a field report. He's got all three of them in there for us. Yeah, I can have all of that, but it's just really good stuff. I'm going to pass this over to the amenities.
With the new access system, we're seeing a lot more access use throughout all the amenities. All the events that we hosted, paint night is still our most popular event. We did it in the window once and then again. We did have all the electrical repairs made at the cabana. The soccer field water fountain is also insulated for the water maker, that helps that issue. Vending machine received been installed. There is a question on putting a sign outside. We talked about it at the last meeting. I have two options. Unfortunately, I have two options. I did not realize we would have to make a decision. There is this front side, which is a normal font. And then this is the Dupree Lakes font. Weren't sure if we wanted to go with something different. This is what we typically do. It's just the standard font. Don't have the same outline.
3 lakes font, 3 lakes at the top.
Yeah, I like that.
This one, but Dupree Lakes at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and it'll have the border, like how the rest of the signs outside have the border around it. Perfect. Another issue we're seeing is with the ice machine, guys, here in the kitchen. So we did our regular maintenance on it. There was work done on it back in May. They've given us some recommendations on an auxiliary fan because it was running a little bit warmer. We did regular maintenance on it in June, and after removing the ice, turning the machine back on, it started running hot inside of it. I called the manufacturer, talked to them, troubleshooting everything that we ran through. They said it could be a bad hot gas valve, it could be multiple things. We would just have to pull out someone who could service the machine.
We looked at replacement cost versus throwing money at something that's old going.
So yes, I pulled up the cost of the machine. It is $2,400. It would be free shipping. That was about the original cost of the machine, was about $2,300. And it is.
Sure, we will fix it.
So,
How much money have we thrown at it so far?
we have thrown $175 into it. For a service call, there are two different companies that I was looking at. Both of them would be $260 for the first hour, which includes the travel and then the actual hourly fee. One of the companies was $100 per hour after that. The other one was $135 per hour after that. So that's the difference for the most part. And then the part, if it is what the manufacturer said, could be $100 to $200. So you're looking at least $360 just for service, if it is exactly what the manufacturer said it could be.
Do we know how old it is?
It is 2018.
So we replace
What do we
it in 5, 6,
What do we use it for? Whenever we use events, or like whenever there's a private rental, they can use the ice machine. It's a convenience, essentially.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I mean, we buy ice for the snow cone machine, right, for most events,
Mhm.
we're buying ice. I mean, is it worth it? Do we need to fix it? Rentals
We
are
rented
from-
it, we rented it a few times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, maybe it sounds harsh, but I don't really care for rentals, they can buy their own ice. We're not paying for them to use an ice machine, so.
Well, we've got rental money
Yeah,
that we can use to put that back into it at the same time.
that's true.
A couple of rentals. Several rentals.
Yeah.
My train, like, here, just coming down, we're gonna fix it and leave it.
Right.
If there's the same issue and we keep fixing it 3-4 times every couple of years.
If there's a water line there, wouldn't it be better to have a fridge that has an ice maker
Fridge,
rather than,
yeah,
you can
it's
buy a refrigerator for $2,400 that has an ice maker?
There's just also then the space, the machine is a little bit slimmer than like your typical like mini fridge, if that's what you're thinking of, if we're looking
No,
at like
I'm
exactly
thinking of,
this.
I'm thinking of like a full refrigerator.
Oh, yes, I
Since I assume that doesn't have an ice maker, right?
It does
It
have
does.
an ice
We
maker.
have an ice maker.
Oh, okay.
It has an ice maker in the fridge too. You just have to hit the lever.
Yeah, this is just because it's here,
Yeah.
is the reason why it's being brought up.
So let's do this. Yeah, let's table it for now. We've got 7 minutes, so she can get out of here.
Yep.
Once you say that, it's a, 20, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just, I think the next biggest item that we need to consider is the Dandy proposal for the splash pad recirculation pump.
They did take care of that. They all agreed outside of the meeting.
Well, yeah, it was agreed upon
Yep.
that it was a necessity item, so, can I get a motion to ratify? Ratify, and that was a motion by Dan Carey, and a second by Glenn, who got it?
Motion by Shannon, second by.
Okay, brilliant. So Glenn got the first, Dan with the second, all in favour? Alright, motion passes. And I'm taking away from your, report, I just want to make sure that we get the, this other item.
Motion to ratify the amendment to the Casey School
So just so everyone's aware, 10%, turned into $900 from $100. So I think the swim instructor is doing very, very well here,
Okay.
and basically said, I'd be willing to pay 10%, not a problem, and they wrote a check for the complete 900. Bennett, is there anything else to add to that?
No, that's all I have, you guys. I'm happy to answer questions about anything else you have at this time.
Alright, so that was a motion to ratify the amendment of the KC Swim School Agreement. Me. Alright, motion by Glenn, second by Janelle. All in favour? Aye. Alrighty, motion passes. Yeah, so that was a huge
Yeah.
increase from 100 to 9x.
We finally got around the phone machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 3 course. I didn't have anything from the engineer. We can go back to other key items here, but yeah, it was a motion to approve the check register. Second. By Glenn Roberts and second by Dan Carey. All in favour? Alright, motion passes. I do have 2 outstanding things, and I'll say it to Janelle, and you have follow-up questions with me. I actually have answers for both of those that we just would like to talk to you. One was the mulch, about paying Cardinal. I don't really want to go into the, we can go over this more at your workshop meeting, because it's still being discussed. They provided a price for 175 yards of mulch, and I'm looking back because I remember that the motion was approved 8,500. Cardinal said for 175 yards, they're 14,400. I spoke with Mike and I said, Mike, I think that's a disconnect there. We need to put this right. You know, he goes, how many yards you got out there? I've got 175 out there. But I thought we asked, I'm digging deeper, looking at transcription to understand what was actually said in the motion. I think it was less. We wanted less, but we asked him to stretch it.
Right.
That was what the motion was. So we need to, we're still looking into that, and I want to get clarification. I spoke with Mike, but I put them on.
Remind Mike that he poses a drawing and didn't give us and we'll not pursue that.
But was there any amenity items that we wanted to take? I know, like anything that you need from the board.
No, there was just.
Complete IT for the surge.
Dreamer, do you want to touch on that? I know that that's really important.
Yeah. So I put on your side, y'all, a proposal that Thomas sent to me last week on the 8th. I believe it came in from when Fallon had an issue with the gate would not secure. And she had to call him, and he was able to remotely walk her through it. At that point, based on what he had to go through and what they saw, he provided that proposal for a surge, an enhanced surge protection for the system. Because apparently they've been working off your old surge, the old surge system that was out there, that not all of it was operational. What I understand, if I understood that right, as I had everything coming at me today. So his proposal would be 27 and some change. I don't have a copy of it in front of me. So, and my other suggestion might be that, you might want to think about with all the lighting we're having in House of Lyrics this year it is, you might want to consider a lightning rod to be placed somewhere. And we could get a proposal for that and bring it back to you to see if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, we have, I know that they can be kind of hefty. That would be a capital expense. They can be anywhere from, I've seen from 5,000 to 15,000. So,
there you go.
but I know that a lot of the event, like, Jack just had one. Belmont doesn't. So it's, it's like, choose it or not.
Here's my thing, before we go down this path, I'd like to see what comes of what just happened and what costs are gonna be associated with that of unwarranty versus warranty.
Okay.
And then also, I really want to have a conversation with comments on why this was overlooked when the new stuff was put in, and why we're talking about this now, because that wasn't brought up, because this could have all been avoided with the system.
I can give you a little update, because I did get a little update in between getting people in and out about what's gone. So they did determine we lost 4 cameras. It's the 2 on the basketball court, front entrance, and the picnic table gazebo. Then 4 cameras went down, 2 switches,
Well,
4 boards,
certain things have been replaced out there, doesn't it?
3 readers. Now, he did say the main board is under warranty. They're gonna slowly trickle all this in.
Is that for the MBR? Is the board for the MBR?
He said the main board.
For what?
The main board is under warranty. They're gonna get it back under warranty, so that's not gonna cost the district anything. That's what he told me.
But the main board for what? For controllers?
Well, I think the main board, it was excellent, but you're speaking the same as Thomas's language, so we need to figure out what he means by.
I think you're maybe one board and all every single thing that's here. I think
Yeah.
you're referring to a board for all security. Well, that's what, that's what.
Yes, that was my understanding, but I'm not gonna swear to that. He did say the camera switch, is under warranty too. He'll know next week if 2 of the readers will be under warranty. But they are trickling these into the company so that hopefully most of the warranties will pay for it.
So are we back up and running, or?
We are back up and running, except for 4 readers, because I pulled the cameras up and they are showing, except for the 4 cameras that he said are out.
Now, with this, do we have, there's gonna be, we wanna capture everything through warranties, whatever we can. But if there is gonna be an expense, if it's a great deal, we're gonna do the same thing what we did with Band-Aid, but that, then we need to, just get it to the board members and writing what we need to do to move forward, but that was,
I think a lot of this, if it's gonna be covered under warranty, that's gonna bring roughly $2,800 down to maybe half that. No, this is adding in a surge suppression system that
Yeah, this is.
is a good protection.
This is
Yeah,
even including everything that's broken, right?
Yeah, this is an addition to make sure that when all the new stuff goes in. I mean, this was coming to y'all before all this transpired yesterday, so.
We have to get surge protectors through that, I mean, so, something we can shop around for now.
I can't vote on what I'm getting ready to say, but they can contact my salespeople and have them do it, and I just vote on it. Yeah, but for competitive bidding.
I have no idea if that's a good price, but.
I have not either, I'd honestly like to take.
I think we, with this is, it might be a table, but do we allow the chair to have the conversation with Thomas to speak the same language? Figure out what the plan is, because I'd like to have a plan moving forward without,
My biggest question for him is, why was this overlooked? Why are we talking about it now? We could have avoided this disaster.
I can't answer that. I would have to talk to Thomas to get that answer for you. Because I was not here when he put it in.
Alrighty, I did, before we close out, sorry, I didn't know it was number 3. Supervisor's request and then audience comments. I think we start with audience comments. Do we have any audience comments? Alrighty, none. Supervisor's request?
I just have a question, where are we at with the playground? Like paying him and fixing the damages and giving the picnic table that he said was gonna.
Picnic table.
He's not answering, we want him to figure out the picnic table.
And how much do we owe him?
40%.
So we paid how much? We owe how much?
We paid like 52.
Really? Because I thought it was, isn't it 90?
Yeah, we've only paid 52. So we've got the 40%, whatever it is. Is
Oh, I
that
thought you
40?
said 14.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
40.
Language barrier.
Okay.
Okay,
I thought you said 14,
No, it's
and I'm like,
fine.
oh,
That's
okay.
on me.
Okay,
We've
just
only
so-
paid 60%, waiting on the 40, and we're not gonna, these are things that need to be fixed. It's a punch list. It's not that we're not paying, it's a punch list. It's,
Yeah.
Did he offer any kind of discount for all of his?
No, we
slowness
offered
and
to
permitting
replace the
and-
picnic table that they took out of there, but they didn't have permission.
No, you broke it.
Oh, he broke it?
Yeah, broke it. We caught them on the video, the guy sat there, broke it. Yeah.
I think we're harder on that, but.
I know, well, Prima,
I have sent
do you
several
want me to
emails.
try and reach out to them, because maybe they don't like you? Because you said it, like, saying it's. No, in the nicest way, like,
I've been very professional.
yes, she has been phenomenal with that, and you found it, thank you.
That's what I was gonna say, maybe it's time to get Ben involved. I mean, he's had more than plenty of opportunity throughout this whole thing to.
His communication sucked, his processes have sucked, his due diligence has sucked. It's kind of sucked.
Can we, I think I sent some email, can we look into additional seating options for the playground?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, okay.
We can bring it back up.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Okay. I think, So your budget workshop is scheduled for July 29th, and then we have our regular meeting August 19th. Do we have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Motion by Glenn Roberts, and that's a second by Janelle. All in favor? Aye. Alrighty, time is 9:05 p.m. All right, Bennett, thanks, bud.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
We just did that 2 weeks ago.
I just did that.